in my step.
Damu Keyway conversation. The only place you gonna get it is the only place you gonna get big you.
Where's? Welcome to the Damu Keyway conversations. It's Duse M the Durk. And we back 30 more subscribers for 9,000 on that trail to 10,000. Go ahead and hit that like button. It's like taking your chucks off before you step into a gangster's house. You dig? Listen, Poetik Flakko, aka Poetic Jala, is a tether plant. WACK100 exposed CS2 Back. React. Look, we are the content. We don't got the content, nigga. We are the content. And we gonna expose this fuck nigga and who he is off the Guinea, you know what I'm saying? And then we gonna let you see that that's why he over here supporting CS2 Back. So let's get to this clip real quick, right? Police ass tether. Thank y'all for familiarizing me with what tether was. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, right?
Yo, Big Kish back up in here. I found this new channel called Point and Shoot. And my God, he is breaking down how DJ Academics and Poetik Flakko may be the laws, may be investigators, may be setting people up to get investigated, arrested. The way he break this down, y'all, you do not want to miss it. I promise you. This one of them ones, y'all. If you want to become a member, link in the description. Y'all know I don't like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
All right, so for this video, I want to talk about DJ Academics and Poetik Jala because these two seem to be on a mission to put rappers in jail. And I got plenty of evidence to prove this, which I'm going to be going over with you guys in today's video. And it just disturbs me so much because they're doing it openly and clearly right out in the open for all of us to see and understand. But because of this rising epidemic of clout addiction in the hip hop world, people just don't seem to really care. And they're still willing to risk.
Yo, this is nasty.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Hey, all you automotive DIYers out there, still struggling with expensive and messy welding? Let's
work. Ham hock.
Nasty work. This is felonious work. Absolutely not.
Their freedom by associating with DJ Academics and Poetik Jala. And I'm starting to think that these two are like paid federal informant collaborators that are helping the authority. I mean, really, I've got the evidence. I'd like to start with our first clip. And it's a very important clip because this is the... So everyone knows by now that Lil Durk is in jail for unalivement for hire, if that makes any sense. Well, a lot of people are saying that the feds and the people that arrested Lil Durk were tipped off to investigate him for this because of what Bricc Baby said in this clip.
I really think Bricc Baby dropped the Blues Clues to the police, bro.
And while that might very well be true, what I want you guys to pay attention to is Poetik Jala and how he's like really trying to get Bricc Baby to keep talking about this. Let's play this clip.
You a oh yeah,
Sloth of honor.
Right? They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like
They
who died?
say you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FVG Cash? Or who?
Playing dumb.
Nah, cause Lil Pop.
Oh,
They don't even get it.
What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say.
Watch how the narrator break it down, y'all. Y'all please pay attention. Please pay attention because he about to put DJ Academics in this as well. Y'all watch this.
You can't say that no more. That's the new term on like no more slide of mine.
Because of Lil Pop. Now, after that incident, though, your fellow brethren, Quando Rondo, took off his flag and put it down. Now, like, do you think that he was justified for doing
We're
that?
not going into.
Come on now, listen.
So what's going on here? My theory is that when Bricc Baby's off camera, and a lot of people have told me that this is true, a lot of people close to the no jumper sphere, they say that when Bricc Baby's off camera, he's willing to talk about anything that's going on in the streets so that people will think he's cool. Wow, Bricc Baby knows what's going on. He's tapped in. He's cool. And he's like, Flakko, you know damn well Lil Pop got killed behind King Von, cuz on the dead homies he got killed. And Lil Durk put the chili up for the hit, cuz that's my brother. On the dead homies. And he paid for that shit, cuz this shit is all, I know the whole thing, cuz I don't 6-0. And this whole thing. And so Bricc Baby's saying all this stuff. He's trying to be cool. He's trying to make people think he's cool. And so he's probably saying stuff like this to Poetic Jala off camera. So Jala's like, I've got to get Bricc Baby to say something on camera to slip up so we can get Little Durk locked up. Jala wants Little Durk locked away for life. And so he employs this tactic that he gets from DJ Academics.
Check it out, y'all. Check it out. He said he employs this tactic that he gets from DJ Academics. Now I want y'all to pay attention. If y'all was here in a couple videos back where I said it's something that I can't stand, y'all watch this.
He does this thing where he plays stupid so that he can get the person to talk on camera so he can complete his mission, which is get people put in jail.
I learned my interview tactics from Academics. He act like he don't know nothing. So you feel me? So somebody can say more. Right? So but though I do have a video that's like Flakko, on my channel.
Amazing. Hold on, Flakko. Amazing tactic. You learn it from the best. Keep going.
I learned my interview tactics from Academics. He act like he don't know nothing, so nothing. So you feel me? So somebody can what the oh no. Somebody can say more, right? So I know y'all understand it, but I just want to say it. I hate that shit. Well, I'm at. I hate that shit. In they interviews, they do this on purpose. Say the person say something, and they be like, "Oh, wait, you mean to tell me?" And then they get the person to reiterate, or they act stupid, like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So the person can say more. This is what they doing, bro. And he gonna dive deep into it. I ain't gonna keep pausing it, but pay attention, y'all.
No, that's good. Flakko, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Wack, don't press Flakko. Nah.
Wow. So DJ Academics and Poetic Jala use tactics to get people to incriminate themselves on camera. They say that they play dumb and they act like they don't know what the hell's going on in order to get people to say too much. DJ Vladimir gets called the feds all the time. They say that he uses people, he gets them to incriminate themselves on his platform, and then he benefits from it financially, which
do y'all not find it odd that these people from strange places, the Trap Lord Rosses of the UK, the DJ Vlads, the Poetic Jala, Jamaican Academics, Jamaican, right? These tethers all have bigger voices than official people. Let's just say 4 extras. Who's a rep in his community, right? 4 extras is supposed to be a rep in his community, right? And he still is relying upon a no jumper, a Adam Grand Mason, right? A Vlad, Trap Lord Ross. How come none of our platforms, y'all niggas don't want y'all own, bro? Y'all niggas is comfortable being slaves to the system. Nasty work, bro. That's a whole nother topic.
Which is true, but I want to point out that DJ Vlad never plays dumb. He straight up goes, now, you were involved in this. Poetic Jala and DJ Academics are like connivingly, very slitheringly trying to get people to talk so that they don't have to get any backlash for what they're doing. They're not asking anything. So this is really, this really disturbs me on so many levels, especially because Poetic Jala openly says that he's trying to get people locked up.
Get up on that stand. I would say, sir, my morals and integrity says I have to do it for free.
Oh, shit.
And tell me which rappity rap nigga I can get locked up, right? But wait, though. So look. So I'm really a rat.
Which
right?
Rap,
like, I'm really a snitch.
Wait, hold on.
I've gotten a rapper locked up already.
You have?
Punch Made Dev. That's facts.
You got him locked up.
Yes.
Did you just hear what he just said? So he's saying that he wants people locked up. He wants to get as many rapidy rappers.
So it's no longer a mystery. He letting us know that he get rappers locked up. It's you know what I'm saying?
Locked up as he possibly can. He's bragging about how he got Punch Made Dev put in jail. This is a person who hates rappers, and he hates gangstas. He hates the streets. He hates it all. He wants everyone in jail. And DJ Academic seems to be thoroughly impressed by this Jala. And I want people to understand this before they go and talk to him, or before they collaborate with him, or go and appear on his platform, or go and do any type of content with him. He's out to get you guys, okay? He's very dangerous. And so I want to show you guys this next clip where local gummy bear WACK100, aka Three Fingers Wack, is talking about how crazy Jala's comments have been recently. And this is coming from WACK100. This is who I believe is a federal informant. I believe that WACK100 has gotten many people locked up in his life. I think that he has a very troubled background. I think he's got a lot of paperwork that has been unseen that would prove that he is a snitch. And so even and he's a staunch supporter of Jala. And he's going to be talking about how crazy Jala sounds and how he's ruining their operation with how openly hateful he is.
So make sure that this has been duly noted way ahead time. And it gives you a better understanding of why he came to the aid in a failed attempt to save the cover of CS2 Back. We'll get into that video later. But first, I want y'all to know more about Poetik Flakko. I know he's not big in the demographics that usually frequent my channels, but he on YouTube, the guy with the thick thunder thighs is hanging with the guy 5'5" with thick thighs. You know what I'm saying?
Toward the rap community. Listen to this. This is whack.
You have Flakko in this, and he's totally against O2F.
Is he? I mean, this was again before.
Just came on my YouTube channel and went crazy on. He said he hope Durk get life. He said this, that, this, that.
Okay, but again, he's
dude gonna get hurt, man.
Well, people are always saying that. Who cares?
So WACK100.
If you live in a Wisconsin zip code and have 0 DUIs in the last 5 years,
who cares? Okay.
Listen carefully.
Don't nobody care.
I think he might be trying to do the Charleston White thing. He might be trying to do the Charleston White thing to get notoriety. I don't know. But I just don't like they being snaky about it. Like they'll interview somebody acting like they're all cool with them, but really they're using tactics to get them to snitch on themselves. Charleston White just lets you know, yeah, I don't like these niggas. He's straight up with it. You know what I'm saying?
100 thinks that Poetik Jala is going to get touched one day, which is very interesting. And I got to just say, what the fuck is this? Look at the 16. Look at the 16th cuck sitting here with his fucking ass hanging out of this thing. Look at the skin just spilling over. His lower body just dominates. Look at this. Look at the saddlebags. I mean, he should have gone as to Halloween as a big old fucking X. But enough about died in the streets of Philly.
He was being very disrespectful to some Philly
stuff about people who have died in the streets of Philly.
He was being very disrespectful to some Philly politics. He says at one point, he says, Duel died, now you got to lay with him. And he's talking to Brandon Buckingham, who's a YouTuber. And obviously YBC Duel got murdered a few months ago. But saying that is pretty crazy.
This is the thing.
Duel died, so he got to lay with him? A rapper died, but I made 100 bands.
Wow, so he is dissing the dead in a drill. He's making drill music.
How he gonna say that's messed up and he in the damn video? He probably sponsored the damn video.
Anything for the clout.
Dissing the dead, dissing dead gang members. This is something that he's always said that he is against. He wants little Durk locked in jail for doing the same thing.
Hey, to all of those people that's so infatuated with the street life, understand. You YouTubers that be going out to the hood doing documentaries and all of that, understand. There is a part of it that you're going to receive as well. You're going to get all the views, all the glory. You're going to get some, you're going to get notoriety. You're going to get some money off YouTube. But there's a negative side that you're going to receive as well. Don't forget it.
This is really fascinating. Why is he doing this? I mean, he's really popping it lately. Have you guys seen his latest? So he fled LA. He's no longer in California. He moved to Texas. And so now that he's not in California anymore, now he's clowning everyone in LA, talking about how they're stupid Neanderthals and how, I mean, look at this clip. This clip was the day he arrived in his new home in Texas.
Dude, it was a LA street Neanderthal who snitched on Lil Durk and dropped Quadrano's location and got his cousin killed. You know why? Who else you know would take money to protect somebody in their city, then take money from their op to set them up? And
he left LA, got him a new crib, a new shape up. Now he talking shish about LA dudes, LA street dudes. If that ain't paid off and compromised,
then snitch on the op when the police get involved. Oh, LA, y'all wrong, bro. LA, y'all foul, man.
Wow, so he hates LA, he hates the streets, he hates gangsterism, he hates it all. And look at this finger. I've never seen a finger look like this. It's very pointy. It looks like a candy corn. I mean, could you guys appreciate this for a second? This is a human finger that we are witnessing. So that's what's going on. And what's funny is that he told, when he was in California, he told the 16 that he was done talking about LA street politics because, you know, he was living there, right? He's probably got 100 DMs a day talking about, hey, we're going to get you.
I think he largely stays out of LA politics, at least recently. He said he's staying out of it.
That's great, but he
and everything. So now that he's in Texas, he's free, feels free to start popping it. And so now that Poetic Jala moved to Texas, where the humidity, I mean, he's a very smelly person. Everyone knows that he stinks very, very badly. And so he moved to Texas, which is extremely humid. California has beautiful Mediterranean climate, and LA is just really mild weather. I mean, he's going to go down there. He's going to be just sweating his fucking crack off. I mean, really smelling the place up. And Texas is the #1 state in the United States for cockroaches. And I'd hate for a cockroach to crawl between his cheeks. I mean, I just really just don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he thought it's a cheaper cost of living. He doesn't have any enemies in Texas. It's cheaper, more bang for your buck. I don't know why he did that, but I'm just concerned about his media career. I mean, his YouTube's not getting it done. I'll tell you that. So maybe he's got some money saved up. I don't know. But I do want to move on and talk about DJ Snackademic. What? So this clip is going to be DJ Academic sitting down with Little Durk. Everyone knows Little Durk. He's the guy that says, I never fucked on block hoes because I call them sis. And so he's got him on. He's doing an interview with him. And he's doing the same thing that Jala does, that Jala learned from. He's acting like he's oblivious. And he's trying to get Durk to incriminate himself on camera. And this was really interesting to me, partially because we're seeing Little Durk alluding to the murder for hire allegation. So let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Y'all watch how Durk a little bit smart now. He a little bit smart. He caught it. He caught it. Check it out.
Triggered by the Slide for Vaughn comments. I don't know if people still say it. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying Slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court.
Work. Academics and Poetik Flakko love each other so much because they're both the same person,
maybe the
same objective. The slave master agenda.
You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why. We different in Iraq.
I feel like you're speaking in parables. I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's.
No, we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying that's like me just claiming something that I want to.
So DJ.
See how he threw that hook out there? See how he threw the rail out there? It seemed like you speaking in parables. No, he letting you know straight up. It don't seem like no parables. You trying to throw the bait out there if you thought he was gonna catch it. He ain't catch it. He ain't nah. It seems like you're speaking in parables. Hey, brother, you mind elaborating on that? No.
Academics looks like he's thinking, oh my God, like he's about to incriminate himself. Oh my God, I gotta shut up and just let him keep talking. Like, oh my God, like yo, like, and so he's like, it really looks like he's just like, oh my God, don't screw this up. This interview is going to be huge if I can get little Durk to do exactly what he's doing. And DJ Academics is just silently, just acting oblivious, even though he knows he's well aware of rumors about this. And so this is crazy. And another thing that I want to point out is DJ Academics is really terrible at interviewing, and he's just always like spastically like stutter.
Y'all like this video so it could get out. It could get out. Cause these rappers need to see videos like what he doing now. So they can know not to be standing in front of these people on their couches and incriminating themselves. And they need to stop messing with Academics and Poetik Flakko.
And he's just all over the place. He doesn't know how to ask a question. And little Durk seems like he doesn't respect Academics at all. Look at this interaction.
What's y'all issue though? Like, because honestly, like, I feel like now it's so, I feel like I gotta be like, no disrespect. I obviously can't be Mr. Louis Farrakhan in terms of trying to solve something, but if it is something that could be ever solved,
I'm just reading. Go ahead, talk. I'm just reading.
If there's something that could ever be solved, or if there's something that you guys could ignore each other, because not everything could be solved.
And Vaughn, we trust. You said what?
What's the issue with you and your boy?
So this is extremely cringe. DJ Academics is one of the worst interviewers I've ever seen, and he's just desperately trying to get Durk to say something crazy about one of his beefs so that, of course, DJ Academics can get money from it. Okay. And so now that Durk is in jail, DJ Academics is reposting clips from this interview that I think clips of this interview are going to be shown in court during the prosecution. I really do. So DJ Academics helped the prosecution, I think, possibly, right? And DJ Academics is just like Poetic Jala. He wants these types of things to happen so that he can, you know what I mean? He doesn't like drill rappers. His favorite rapper is Drake. What? I'm not kidding. DJ Livingston's favorite, DJ Academics' favorite rapper of all time is Drake. That's fucking insane. And so this next clip is going to show, I want to show you this. This is DJ Academics openly instigating beef between gang members. And
y'all pay attention. Pay attention. Check this out.
This was inappropriate. I want to show you this.
Provocateur.
Chat. This is the beginning of a nice Rico.
This is the beginning of a nice Rico. I'm telling you, everybody, the people who follow DJ Academics, they just like him. The people who follow Drake, which is Academics, just like him. Vibing to one song, they vibing to pink barrettes and shit. Wordy bun.
University you go to? Bro, you talk about something.
Yo, chat, you want to see W instigation? Watch this. Watch this. W instigation.
Look, the way how y'all solve these issues to like meet up and like squabble or whatever, like why you guys been arguing for so long?
Pull up to the set. Everybody pull up to the set. That's all we can do. We can do it in the single. You can't do that. I can't.
So he's talking to these people.
That sound, bro, what he did was some old Willie Lynch shit.
Straight.
We gonna put the light skin, you know the Willie Lynch, I don't know if y'all got the book, but you just put the light skin slave against the dark skin one so they could be at odds. Even though we ain't dealing with colorism right now, he's still sitting back.
The male slave against
throwing
the
out
female
something out there.
slave.
He hit the nigga on the back of the neck. He did it. Now he just sitting back watching the fight.
Are you researching dental implants? Acrylic temporary prosthetics break constantly. Some labs see, 10 people a day with a broken prosthetic.
This is bad. This is, bro, this nasty work right here.
That he doesn't respect. He's talking to Bricc Baby on the dead homies, cuz I fuck on 6-0 on the dead homies. And he's talking to WACK100. I want you to answer this question. And he's talking to fucking, who's the other guy? Fucking, I don't even know. But they're all allegedly gang members. They're all enemies. And Academics is instigating beef between them. So this is really weird. And I think it's so funny. And I want to show you a clip of DJ Academics talking about Bricc Baby not too long ago. So this is really interesting.
Yo, Bricc Baby. Before I'm a law-abiding citizen, but before you think I'd ever pay your rent, I get your own homies. I pay them to knock you off. Stop playing. Stop it. You're a bum-ass gangbanger who gonna do what you gonna do. Stop acting like you some. I'm telling you,
bro. Why is he looking like trying to be intimidating? You ain't no different from Drake, bro. Trying to be intimidating. You're a chameleonaire. He copy what he see what the rappers do and then try to do the same thing to to them. Like that shit don't work. You like, yo.
Your own homies, I get them a 300,000. You be gone. Stop playing, nigga.
Wow, so he really talks badly about gang members. You're a fucking broke ass gang member. Like, whoa, why is he so angry? Why does he hate you know what I mean? He hates the people that he pretends to be friends with today in present day. So this is really glaring. And what's really kind of glaring to me is his infatuation with this guy Myron from Fresh and Fit. What? And everyone in his chat.
Hey, y'all check this out. Y'all go to the deleted channel. He did a whole video on Myron. He did a whole video on him. This dude don't. I'm gonna let him speak. Let's get it.
Hates Myron. I hate Myron. Everyone hates Myron. Okay, he's a very weird, sort of confused racist, and DJ Academics loves him. He loves him so much. He's trying to get his fans to love him too.
Look, for me, guys, check me out on Fed Reacts, Fresh and Fit. You're gonna be live tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. What time are you gonna stream?
Yeah, probably tomorrow. I'll probably stream like 5 to 12 or something like that.
All right, I'll hop on with you a little bit. What do you want to discuss? You want to talk Durk some more or anything else?
Yeah.
Wow, so this racist who doesn't like blacks is code switching. Hey, what do you want to talk with you? What should I talk with you about? That's not okay. And what is this conversation? It sounds like they're like setting up a date. This is how you would plan a date. So I'll see you time tomorrow.
They sound like two police officers meeting up. What do you want to do, buddy? Let's go discuss some Durk, and then we'll have some YSL, and then that man. They sound like they cops, police, Nick.
Tomorrow, what's a good time? What time should I pick you up? Where should we go to eat? You know what I mean? That's really the vibe I'm getting from this.
We didn't get the ISO of just me and you because we had Trenches News in, and then we had the call. But
just me and you.
Yeah, whatever you want, man.
All right, cool. Hey, chat. When it comes to situations like this, I love bringing Myron on. I feel like he adds valuable insight, and I could kind of bounce off him with questions that we.
Okay, so this is DJ Academics trying to sell Myron to his audience and explain why they shouldn't hate him, which they do.
I know y'all have, so I think it's a good deal. So I appreciate you guys.
A lot of them hate me, but you guys will like me eventually. Pause.
I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. It's weird how they have this odd relationship with you.
So the odd relationship that DJ Academics is talking about is that he covers hip hop, but he's also best friends with Myron.
That's enough about Poetik Flakko. We on Poetik Jala. We're gonna go ahead and close that one off. We got a little too far into it. That's okay because we gonna Spider Lope is gonna take us right back to the point. But these birds of a feather flock together. CS2 Back, Myron, Poetik Jala, and Wackademics. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
About to go to the party in like Inglewood, and they said, "Nigga, what? Is you out of your mind?" You feel me?
They heard you ask Munchie all them old curveball ass questions. They was trying to tell you they thought it was a setup or something.
Oh, listen. Right. See, look, that's on our list, right?
You lying. I ain't got my glasses. I can't even see the
list. Is crazy.
Damn.
Yo, listen, bro. So look. So me and Munchie did an interview. It was a sit down. It was it's doing great now. I believe it's like 200,000 views right now. Right.
Salute.
It's doing crazy. Now during the interview, I asked some inquiring mind questions. You feel me? Right.
Inquiring, incriminating.
We know how you do.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I asked questions that was all that was all public, right? But people thought I went a little bit too far. And one person being the like the big homie right here, right? Where he says, "Listen, Flakko, the shit you did in that interview, I bet not ever see you do that shit again."
The big homie right here, you talking about Adam?
SPI.
Yeah. Right?
Because Adam didn't seem like he was cool with it either. I thought you were talking about
Hell no, boy.
I'm the one that got it.
Because his middle name is Go Too Far. It's what this nigga do.
Yeah, right. Here, right. So for you, Munchie, right? So how did you feel about the interview? So this is like your first time back. So how did you feel about the interview?
I'll be kind of expecting shit like that out of you, right? But
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna give you what you're looking for. You said, was that the first time you shot somebody?
Which is a crazy ass question.
Like, but I mean, one of these dumbass niggas on TikTok can tell you like that. I mean, shit. You know, what
I ain't know how tight y'all was either.
That's what he's
I didn't know how much y'all used to
trying to
politic
get
behind the
them to
scenes
talk
at that
about
point.
that.
So I'm thinking he coming on the platform really dealing with a stranger, not knowing the rapport y'all had.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't react to certain shit I thought he would have reacted to, because he know you way better than I knew you.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of conversations since then, so I know your troll level now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I feel like the interviewer could damn near ask whatever, but it's really up to you if you gonna answer these.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like free ARF, but he went on Vlad and said some crazy shit, and now he's sitting on the bunk.
Every interview, he was saying some crazy ass murder dope story.
But you could put it on the interviewer if you want to, but it's on the nigga to sit down to say some stupid shit. But I just don't play with me with no snitch conversation or no. What Blasco say? Zesty shit.
But with the Flakko,
because y'all got a gay humor up here.
Yes.
And I don't
be on bullshit.
Yeah, and I don't play around. That nigga, he walked past with a thong.
The Flakko,
I don't know not to play with you.
I was at the crib.
The Flakko and Munchie interview, Flakko seemed like you didn't have no professional questions.
Facts.
You didn't mix it up.
No, true.
You didn't ask him about what made him start rapping, who is his inspirations, what got him into podcasting, what are his favorite things to discuss as a podcast. All you wanted to talk about was bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and that's why I felt like he didn't get a fair shake to really. He's trying to show growth. Everybody already know the bullshit of Munchie B.
Yeah, of course.
He's trying to show the mayor side of himself.
Of course.
Yeah.
That means you got to bring him back and double back for the real question.
Listen, of course. Listen. You're not wrong, right? So now listen. Now the question that I feel like folks was like, bro, like why would you ask him? Was that the first time he shot somebody? So here's why I thought that was a fair question, right? So right. So and he spoke on, you feel me? Going to jail as a kid, right? Right? For shooting, right? Or for robbery, something like that, right? Cool. But then the Twitter post says, my mama made me promise to stop shooting people when I was 13. He got arrested for that robbery at 14. So that means that before 14, he was shooting niggas.
You the police.
So then I asked, okay, was that the first time you shot somebody?
That was a detective ass way to think of that question.
I don't know if that was 13 or 14. Yeah, I know it was like summer going to like 9th grade going to another grade or some shit. But yeah, I mean, if somebody dumb enough to answer that question, like the summer, the winter before that, I knocked the nigga down or some shit. That's on them.
Hey,
one of these Chicago niggas will come and tell you.
Was all those questions self-generated, or did you like get them from
He had a paper.
He
had a couple papers. It was a list, nigga.
Bro, listen,
this is what he do.
Yeah, bro.
He watch your shit for a week. He go do his research and he write down all the crazy ass questions in his laptop.
Hey, suspect, bro. He was naming shit off a Twitter I don't even have no more. I'm like, I said that, but when he said it, it sounded familiar. I'm like, yeah, I know I said it, but I forgot I said it.
He is I'm telling you, he is the investigation.
Listen,
he didn't put two niggas away.
Right?
Look, gotta watch his
he done put two niggas away, and they laughed about him trying to put Munchie away.
Yeah, right.
This shit is crazy,
what is
bro.
that? Explain.
It has like archived tweets like that, right? That like no longer
just an app
exist. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's called the Wayback Machine.
What officer you get that from?
Hey man,
you been hanging with Wack?
Crazy.
Oh shit! Hey, Wack told you about that shit?
No.
Wack didn't tell you about that.
Now, how do I get something about that?
Hold on, Deputy Wack didn't tell you about the Wayback Machine?
No.
This is the Wayback Machine. Why that sound like something you
the
can
Wack? The Wayback Machine. He didn't tell you about that?
Nah, man. Hell nah, man.
Okay, all right, proceed.
That was crazy.
Listen, I've never talked to Wack about nothing police. WACK100 is a real one, you feel me? Right? From my perspective, you feel me? From my perspective. Why is you laughing like that, man?
No, because I had somewhat a respect for your opinion on real ones until you make that statement. But go ahead.
No, right? No. Again, I don't want to mess up the name or I don't know if if
I'm gonna do it for you.
Yeah, the Keyway and Damu.
No.
Yeah.
Me and Spotter Loke,
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, on some red and blue shit, some Crip and Blood shit, Keyway Damu shit. We got Kick and Cack being Bull, which is our new shit we cracked off not too long ago. And you know what I'm saying? Then
Damu Keyway Conversations is the homies, Yael and Duse M. That's their platform.
But see, I got on them a couple days ago.
Damu Keyway Conversations is we started a movement of this red and blue. This is a fact. Poetic Jala said it, but misstated it on purpose. See, they don't like the Damu and Keyway conversation because they commiserate with CS2 Back. But let's go, Munchie B.
And I was like, bro, you be reporting everything else. Nigga, traditionally, my hood, I don't fuck with Spotter Loke hood like that, nigga. We be on film together, all kind of shit. We got Kick and Cack being Bull.
Why he got Swan Gang tattooed on it.
Well, why you ain't talking about that? He like, hold on, right? I didn't know. Okay, fair enough. You didn't know.
You know that's history, bro. Like niggas is making history. You feel me?
No. Right now, again, I'll be fair though. Me not talking about it was some bitch ass nigga shit. For me, right? I did do some bitch ass nigga shit.
Bitch ass nigga.
Right? Again, man.
So him not bringing light to that was some bitch ass nigga shit. He already knew that. So now on his new video, he's bringing light to the CS2 Back situation, but he puts the WACK100 spin on it. Some more bitch ass nigga shit. Let's go.
Hey, listen,
bro.
Hey, listen. I gotta be honest, bro. Some days I do have some bitch ass nigga moments.
We know,
right?
Sound like
but every day, feel me? You know, we strive to be real niggas.
That's
right.
You working on it. You working on it.
Hey, he talking with his hands and shit.
No, you working on it.
We strive to be real niggas.
I respect the fact that you can meet yourself right there in the moment. We'll pull you along.
Lumen came to us.
Poetic Jala striving to be a real nigga because he ain't a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's either in you or it's on you, nigga, and it's definitely on you because it ain't in you. Now, here we go. Poetic Jala, a clip with him and Wackademics, partners in crime with CS2 badges. Let's get to CS2 Back. Here they go. Wackademics.
Themselves on camera. They say that they play dumb and they act like they don't know what the hell's going on in order to get people to say too much. You know, DJ Vladimir gets called the feds all the time. They say that he uses people, he gets them to incriminate themselves on his platform, and then he benefits from it financially, which is true. But I want to point out that DJ Vlad never plays dumb. He straight up goes, now, you were involved in this. Poetic Jala and DJ Academics are like connivingly, very slitheringly trying to get people to talk so that they don't have to get any backlash for what they're doing. They're not asking anything. So this is really disturbing.
This is what's going on.
Especially because Poetic Jala openly says that he's trying to get people locked up.
Tell me which rappy nigga I can get locked up, right?
Oh, so DJ Academics.
Seeing what rappers I could get locked up. This is his life ambition. And he's a buster. I don't know how many busters on the internet with no swag, sloppy body, Larry Home, flabby and sick, commiserate and deal with him. Almighty Suspect got more swag and street cred than that bitch ass nigga by 4, probably triple the most. Let's go.
Into it with Kelpie, you was up here talking about he's not coming back, right? I hope he doesn't come back, right? This is the snakiest coworker we have here.
I can pay for you to come back with
I'm trying to end the Monday show. You called my phone.
I don't want to do it no more, nigga.
Gina on you.
Hey, ain't no taco good enough to get the N-word pass, bro.
Man, you don't even understand this. You're a fucking
I'm sorry, bro.
Next topic. This nigga's a clown. This nigga.
I'm sorry, bro.
Before we move on,
I'm a real one, bro.
No, you're not,
bro.
A real one where,
bro?
You just lied about where you was from on camera a month ago.
How I
You're not fucking real.
Real one. Where he was from.
Real one? Nigga, you's a clown.
How I lied? I'm not a clown, bro. Feel me? You're emotional right now and angry as fuck.
Like, why do people for dating? And stop talking.
No, bro. Like, why would we do to each other, my nigga? We adults, my nigga. Bro, we're past the new shit, so Josh is talking
about
up.
None of that. I don't give a fuck.
But we're co-workers, though, my nigga.
Topic.
Why do we have
co-workers,
Let's not
go into that,
bro.
You the snakiest
Why,
co-worker here. You're the snakiest co-worker here.
Let's do that.
But when I got into it with Kelpie, you was up here talking about he's not coming back, right? I hope he doesn't come back, right? This is the snakiest co-worker we have here.
I can pay for you to come back with John, my nigga.
To end the Monday show. You called
me. He literally tried to end the Monday show. This the weirdo Poetik Flakko that we're talking about. We're going to get back into more of him, and then we're going to get into this video. I want everybody to react, to watch this react. Hit that like button.
No, right. But like that shit is already in the hands of the law, so I can't even.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, duty low.
That nigga
Josh is coming
shit is already in the hands
to give
of the
me
law.
the surveillance shit. Feel me? So yeah, so I'm not.
It is above me.
Yeah, feel me? Yeah.
This is crazy.
Feel me? What?
That nigga's crazy as a bitch. That nigga said it's above me. It's
So
all right.
basically, any nigga that come to Flakko with any type of threats and shit, you are not gonna. You're gonna get calling the police as he should though, like niggas, civilians and shit. I might call the police on y'all niggas too. I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
No, for facts, no. Yeah,
I'm keeping it in a butt, nigga. Like, I'll beat your ass and I'm gonna call the police on you too.
That's the type of game.
I'm not a game member, my boy. Like, nigga, I do not fall to do. And I'm gonna keep real. I have never even called the police ever. Came up here.
So that's another one. Y'all want to hear some more of who this dude is? Y'all got to understand what we working with right here before we even get into the voice on the business.
Created conditions in the hood that makes it impossible for these kids to go outside and play.
Listen to this twice.
For these funky, cock-funky, nappy, rappy rap niggas come in the hood 2 times a year and give them a funky turkey and some Jordans. And they're supposed to say thank you. No, bro, listen, it's Stockholm syndrome. The reason that you're in this place, right, trapped and fucked up and down bad and starving, but when I give you that pie, nigga, it's Stockholm syndrome. You now start to feel affection for me now because you feel as if I'm saving you.
These niggas are the reason that black people here is living in poverty. Let's talk about that. Let's just talk about ChatGPT. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. Are black Americans are gangbangers? Okay, let me go there. Are gangbangers are gangs the primary reason black Americans live in poverty? Listen to what this weirdo says. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let him finish this after. You know what I'm saying? I show y'all what ChatGPT say about his first start, so he start off from a fucked up position. So it says, are gangs the primary reason black Americans live in power? That's an important and complex question, and the short answer is no. Gangs are not the primary reason black Americans live in poverty. While gang activity can have harmful local effects, for example, contributing to violence, incarceration, or reducing investment in certain neighborhoods, the main causes of poverty among black Americans are structural and historical, not simply individual or cultural. Here's the breakdown. Historical roots: slavery, segregation, and redlining. All of these were done by the United States government and white folks. Here you are attacking and blaming the victims of slavery, the victims of segregation, and the victims of redlining, blaming them for being the primary reason that black Americans are living in impoverished areas and are broke as a whole, collectively, that we own nothing. The new GI Bill, New Deal programs, and mortgage lending often explicitly or implicitly excluded Black families, leading to massive racial wealth gaps that persist today. They had a head start. You ignorant Sambo. See, these is the tethers that we talking about. Those who are planted in our culture and given a voice by the oppressor, by the ops, by the federal government to target and delegitimize movements who seek economic independence, who seek to build those communities. He said they come around twice a year with a turkey and a pair of Jordans. Nappy. He sound like a he sound like the slave master, bro. Economic inequality. Black workers have faced employment discrimination and wage gaps even with equal qualifications. Many Black communities were hit especially hard by deindustrialization, loss of factory jobs, and the war on drugs, which led to over-policing and mass incarceration. Both of these laws and these actions were done by people who don't look nothing like us. But Poetik Jolly is blaming niggas that are gangs or the reason. Predominantly Black neighborhoods often receive less investment, fewer public resources, and lower quality schools. This reinforces cycles of poverty, regardless of individual behavior. I don't give a fuck how good you is, how hard you work. You're still going to be coming from this cycle of poverty, regardless of that behavior. Education and opportunity barriers. And then fifth, gangs, a symptom, but not the root. Gangs tend to emerge in impoverished, marginalized areas where legitimate opportunities are scarce or scarce. They're often a response to poverty and social exclusion, not the main cause of it. You ignorant house nigga. You ignorant house nigga. And they reward him with a lot of support, a loud voice, because this is what they want to project to the youth, to those and those growing up who don't know no better. And you niggas swallow this up. The Charleston Whites, Poetik Flakkos, Wackademics, and CS2 Backs. Look at him trying to appear tough with his hat cocked back to the back. A misappropriation of our culture. This shit is sick, bro.
Created conditions in the hood.
We created the conditions in the hood. This is what he is spewing publicly. Ignorance.
That makes it impossible for these kids to go outside and play.
That makes it impossible for these kids to go outside and play. You do understand that, first and foremost, these kids don't like to go out and play because they play on the internet. They're not just on the internet, they're gamers. This is the new generation. Besides that, the ones outside is trooping. They gang bang at a young age over there. But right now, Poetik Jolly is showing us all how he feels about our communities and those in our community. You gangbangers that deal with him and don't check him on that, you niggas ain't standing on nothing either. Let's go.
But these funky, cock-funky, nappy, rappity rap niggas come in the hood 2 times a year and give them a funky turkey and some Jordans. And they're supposed to say thank you. No, bro, listen, it's Stockholm Syndrome. I'm the reason that you're in this place, right? Trapped and fucked up and down bad and starving. But when I give
I'm the reason you're stuck in this place, in this ghetto, right? It's Stockholm Syndrome that you guys appeal to gang members or those from the community. These people try to delegitimize reputable upstanding citizens within their community because of their past. That sounds like the criminal justice system if you listen to me. In fact, it sounds like the federal system if you ask me. So this Poetik Jala, and this is how he's coming, right? So now that we done let y'all know a little bit about who this nigga is, we're gonna do a live reaction and educate this ignorant Sambo. You know what I'm saying? Educate this ignorant Sambo. So let me see. So we could close that one, and then that's where's that video at? Okay, we gonna get to it for y'all right now. Boom. Really bad news for Bricc Baby and WACK100. That's the name of the video. We finna get to it. Let me pause this real quick. Deep dive. We finna go in on Poetik Jala. You know what I'm saying? Real bad news for Bricc Baby and WACK100. We gonna get right in.
With Thriving.
You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. We got the content. Nah, nigga. We is the content. They continue to talk about our communities, our organizations, so-called gangs, and what we got going on, and hate it so much. They fear it so much. They hate to say our names. Let's go. They hate to give us credit.
Bricc Baby will go off on WACK100 in response to WACK100 calling him a snitch. Now, in his response, Bricc Baby would make his own accusations against WACK100. Now, conveniently or ironically, around the same time the call came out, WACK100 actually confronted the person who's been spreading, I guess, the misinformation, or who gave Bricc Baby the information about WACK100 on Clubhouse. And we're going to cover everything. So first,
the misinformation. You sure you want to label that misinformation? Because if you're saying that it's misinformation, you're defaming my company, my journalistic research skills, and my dignity and respect. You are defaming my brand. Dumbass gangbanger nigga. You want to see how smart I am? I want a retraction on you saying defamatory statements attributed to the person who created the video, which is public record that I created the video and published the video. Then maybe you'll be in this paperwork we finna talk about real soon with a civil suit of yourself. Let's go.
First off, let's just cover why Bricc Baby is currently doing a recorded jail call going off on Wack. It's because last week, WACK100 alluded to the fact that he believes that Bricc Baby has been cooperating with the feds for a very...
Documentation beats speculation. So you ain't got no problem with him defaming Bricc Baby without any paperwork, proof, or documentation. But here you is when we drop paperwork claiming that it was defamatory. Yeah, we see what side you on, Poetik Jala.
Very long time.
So when I tell you working, when a Bricc was Bricc, you was out 19, 20 months, no court date for some serious crimes. But listen, watch this. Traveling with Adam to New York and Atlanta. Can't no travel once the feds snatch you, boy. Unless you working. Bricc Baby is never in Big U Rico.
If you see my last video, I did say for...
This is how stupid Wack is. He never done federal time. The Federal Bureau of Prison, you could be on close supervision release after doing your sentence, and they'll allow you to travel anywhere in the United States as long as you give them a heads up of where you're traveling, because the feds have federal jurisdiction. That's over every state. You dodo. But this is what he's pushing, and you niggas so stupid, y'all believe him. Nasty work. This is a nigga who can't read paperwork, who ain't been to the feds, saying that you can't travel nowhere once the feds got you. Nasty work, bro. The feds didn't even have Bricc Baby yet. The state dismissed the case, and then the feds picked it up when they arrested him. Let's go.
For me to believe that Bricc Baby told, I would have to see the black and white paperwork, man. I just got so much love for Bricc Baby that I can't even imagine Bricc would do such a thing. I would just need the black and white. Like, show me Bricc Baby, like, show me, you know, like the black and white, right? So Bricc Baby responds back to Wack. And Bricc Baby's response is essentially to accuse Wack of the same thing. So Bricc Baby takes to his channel, and in like his response, he brings up something that's not really new. Like what he brings up has been discussed at length for a while now. I think WACK100 is currently involved in a civil lawsuit because of this, because Worldstar published a video on their main channel accusing WACK100 of being a snitch from a case that Wack essentially has nothing to do with. So Bricc Baby is bringing those rumors back up. And
so now you saying Wack, this is still from a case that Wack has nothing to do with. You want to see how disingenuous this piece of shit is? We're gonna go ahead and let me open up this Clubhouse room, because we're gonna make sure we're recording on Clubhouse also. I'm quite sure they're gonna want this. What time is it? 3:03. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to 3:05, and we're gonna go ahead and share this, and then we're gonna get into WACK100 himself saying how he was involved in this case, and not only WACK100 himself talking about how he was involved, that he orchestrated. You know what I'm saying? Them beating the case, freeing several Main Street Crips. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get to this. So we're on this little doodles. What's happening, bro? Bentley, what's happening? We on this. Yeah, we up here pre-recording right now. Finna whoop Poetic Jala. You know what I'm saying? Speaking up on what he don't know. He up here defending CS2 Back Lamore. You know what I'm saying? Ping up, share. Let's get some people up in here. We recording as we talk. I gotta grab this CS2 Back Maryland salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? How you been doing, little doodles?
I've been straight, bro. You know, I'm perfect, man. You know shit.
Oh man, as you should be, man. That's all you can ask for. Blessing, peace and blessings be upon to you, man. You know how to dig.
I appreciate it, bro. Like you say, watch you, bro.
Right, but the nigga Poetic Jala just said that WACK100 had nothing to do with this case. I'm just saying that sounds really disingenuous when WACK100 told us that he the one that orchestrated. That's where the I owe you one came from with Detective Greg Kading, and this shit is viral right now. Again, what he didn't want to happen, you know. CS2 Back thought that Duse M didn't have a voice and that the word wouldn't spread fast enough to expose that he was CS2 Back. You know what I'm saying? He hates that this is still here. You know what I'm saying? So we finna get to that real quick. Free to goo on Clubhouse. Free to goo on Clubhouse. And let's see where he at right now. CS2 Back says, you know, I'm the one that got told on. Let's start there, right? Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, y'all can't hear it, huh? Oh, yeah, y'all not even gonna be able to hear it.
None of them cases. Put that on Pyru, then make statements. Put that on that case. You know I'm the one got told on. Put that on Pyru, that you didn't make statements. I ain't on none of them cases. Put that on Pyru, then make statements. Put that on that case. You know I'm the one got told on. Put that on Pyru, that you didn't make statements. I ain't on none of them cases. Put that on Pyru, then make statements. Put that on that case. You know I'm the one got told on. Put that on Pyru.
No, I'm the one that got told on, right? How you not a part of the case, but you the one that got told on? Poetic Jala, you have no credibility. And these are the reasons why. It's so easily to prove if you got told on, then that means you were part of the case, investigation, arrest, sentencing, or something. He was a part of the investigation. He was an employee for Deja 34. So that's one thing. We're just going to start there, right? They had two sides of this investigation. Let's get into this real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Jones was a target on the Suge Knight side. He said they had two sides. They had the Suge Knight side and they had the Main Street Crip side, right? Mr. Jones was a target on the Suge Knight side. This paperwork is all Main Street Crips.
So this paperwork was all Main Street Crip, but another lie, right? But there were two sides of this investigation by the Joint Task Force headed by Greg Kading and Darren Dupree. You had the sheriffs also a part of the Joint Task Force, Paul Fournier and Detective Michael Coet. And so CS2 Back and Poetic Jala is telling us that there's two sides of this case. Wack had nothing to do with it, but here Wack just admits that he came in on the Suge Knight side of the thing, right? So he goes into further lie. Let's get to this real quick. You know what I'm saying? There were no bloods to talk to on this side. So let me get y'all that too. Because there's been a whole lot of lying, you know.
This side.
There's no bloods to talk to.
Crips. There's no blood to talk to on this side. All right, you run that motherfucking audio. Right. So Main Street Crips.
The Main Street Crips. There's no bloods to talk to on this side. This is what WACK100 said. Also, let me get to that first. Let's handle that since we already demolished that bullshit, right? And then remember, Wack admit I talked to Dog. You know what I'm saying? Wack admitted that he talked to Dog, right? But he's saying now he has nothing to do with it. And Poetic Jala is running this narrative with him. Coincidentally, when it's viral again about CS2 Back, maybe it's the Worldstar statements, and we're going to get into all of that litigation also. Who knows better about the Worldstar Hip Hop litigation than Duse M's The Don? You know what I'm saying? Y'all do understand that we got a full court press on them right now. I can't even show y'all all of the documents because one thing Worldstar was worried about is my podcast and me putting the public into their legal business and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into those legal documents for sure. But first, I want to show you Ray J's statement to the sheriff detectives. Since Wack said there were no bloods on this side, it was all Crip on Crip. There were no bloods to talk to in this investigation. He's a blood, and he was in the investigation, even if he says he was on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. He's trying to say he had nothing to do with the Main Streets, but your own wiretap in the Main Street Crip investigation. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to say you didn't have nothing to do with it. And then Detective Michael Coet says you were the only one arrested by the Joint Task Force. You know what I'm saying? And you were running around behind Stutterbox. You said snitched on you. Well, we believe Stutterbox is a rat, was a rat prior to that, and got evidentiary proof that he been working with Darren Dupree, had his number when before he turned himself in to 77 Division after being kidnapped, pistol whipped, and robbed, allegedly, by 7 Main Street Crips. At the behest of Money Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal, allegedly. This is what is all alleged in that investigation. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. And it all stemmed from a record deal gone bad. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into all of that, I want to get into this Ray J statement because there were no Bloods around to talk. The whole record deal was around Ray J. So isn't Ray J a Paru? Or are you saying Ray J not a Paru now? You not claiming him no more? Is that what's going on, CS2 Back? You're saying Ray J is not a Paru, right? And they only investigating Crips. What about DJ K-Slay? They investigated and questioned him, right? So how is you gonna say Ray J wasn't around when the deal pertained to him? When Box brought him to the table. So you think that the police ain't man, why is all of these papers coming up? Giving me a headache for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to this. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, man. Man, I'm see what I'm finna do. I'm finna just pull it up from over here, bro. This digging for this too deep is giving me a headache, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to send it the page that I'm looking for up top from Ray J. That's all we need right at this point, at this juncture, you know, dumbass, nappy head gangbangers who fault it is that these kids is growing up in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Who fault it is that these kids is growing up in this situation. Okay, page 11. Let me see. Cass Jones. Is brother and recording artist. What you call it? Oh, we're gonna get to all of those good pages. You know what I'm saying? Harbin. That's Robert Ross's statement to the sheriff. Dell Ross, what day was that? August 5th, huh? We'll check that out. Okay, that's Mark Stevens' statement to the sheriff. Okay, here we go. It didn't take that long, man. I know it was a little what you call it, but it take longer to read, man. So I hope that you guys can buckle it down, man, and enjoy the content, man. That's what you're here for. The truth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for today. So we're gonna pull this paperwork up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pull this statement up because well, let's play that again because it was a little while and you know what I'm saying? You know, they were saying that there were no gang members, Bloods. It was all Crips, right? They were saying it was all Crips. No bloods involved. So we could get that one off. Boom. We'll get right to the paperwork. I'll sample it while we go live. Let's go like this. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Ray J statement. Y'all want to see this? Oh, yeah. On September 11, 2008, they talked to investigators, interviewed Ray J. Clip this. Investigators interviewed Ray J. Norwood. Norwood is the rapper who victim Ross introduced to Mark Stevens to facilitate a recording contract with Koch Entertainment in New York. Norwood told investigators that he and Ross are neighbors and became friends. He learned that Ross had connections in the music industry and inquired about making a contact regarding a record deal. Ross introduced Norwood to Mark Stevens, the co-owner of Deja 34 record label based in Atlanta, Georgia. In November 2007, Ross traveled with Norwood to New York to meet with Mark Stevens at Koch Entertainment. Stevens made it clear that Ross would receive his fair cut, a percentage from sales, if Norwood was to sign with Koch Entertainment. So Ray J told the sheriffs that Robert Ross, Stutterbox, was not lying when he said that he was told he would get a percentage from sales royalties for if Ray J was signed with Koch Entertainment. After weeks passed, Ross learned that he would not be compensated for his involvement in the signing of Norwood. Koch Entertainment became impatient and threatened to call the deal off. Ross told Norwood to go ahead and sign the contract and that he would deal with his own issues with Stevens. It was Norwood's belief that Ross was not treated fairly and should have been compensated for his role in the project, especially after Stevens told him he would be compensated. Norwood told investigators that he acknowledged Ross on his latest album cover by writing, "Box. Thanks for putting this whole deal together." So this is on the album cover, and he lets it be known that Stutterbox put this whole deal together. So Money Mark Stevens was caught with his hand in a cookie jar, burning Stutterbox. Right or not, we're talking about the business aspect. He made the deal happen. He cut the middleman out. After he made the deal happen, I guess he felt he didn't offer and didn't value him putting the whole deal together. Who wants to go into business with somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to go into business with somebody like that? So that was the Ray J paperwork. Now let's get back to Poetik Flakko, right? Poetic Jala, you know what I'm saying? Let's get back to him and his lies, since he want to speak up on shit he knows nothing
Asking
about.
WACK100 to address it.
These glasses are not a toy.
Damu Keyway. Conversations. Let's go.
Go deal, it's the big old deal. Don't see you late, man. It's the Bricc. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a minute. I've been sitting back, kicking it, man. But you know, Mr. Face Down, Ass Up, been mentioning my name so much that I got it. I don't even have to defend myself, so I'm not even finna get on here acting like I'm finna defend myself. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You get no points for not telling. That's what a real nigga's supposed to do. So I'm not gonna shower myself with flowers, none. You know what I mean? You people that feel like you need to be showered with flowers because you didn't tell, that mean that it was a thought in the back of your head that you could get off on somebody. But this is all I want to know. Mr. Cash Jones, WACK100, right? whatever happened to the case that was filed on you for conspiracy to commit murder? That's all I want to know. You know what I mean? We just want you to go get the paperwork to all the cases that you've had filed against you. We don't care about the gun case in Oklahoma. That could have, where you got caught with 20 guns and all that shit. I got caught with less than that. And you know what I mean? We already see the outcome of that. So I just want to know, from a man to a man, when they kicked your door in over you being the gossip little troll you are, talking to Stutterbox and talking to Dell Dog, you dropping the low on
Not Stutterbox and Dell Dog.
This call is from.
He was talking to Mark Stevens while at the same trying to talk to Dell Dog, but Dell Dog didn't want to get on the phone with him. At the same time, he's talking to Robert Ross, Stutterbox. So he talked to Mark Stevens and he talked to Stutterbox, two different sides of the dynamics in this Ray J deal gone bad with Koch Records. Let's go.
From a federal prison.
Dell Dog, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Shout out to Double D's, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, Street Mafia. You and Stutterbox. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Stutterbox on the phone on my next video. We gonna go over it lick by lick, right? But explain to me what happened when they kicked your door in for conspiracy to commit murder. Those type of cases just don't go away. So, did you turn evidence of the U.S. government or the state? What happened? Because we have no clue. If you say that you're not CS2 Back, cool. We know that you CS2 Back.
Let's give you guys a backstory, because a lot of you guys are not familiar with exactly what case Bricc Baby is talking about. Shaq, when he was playing for the Lakers, ingratiated himself with the Main Street Crips, right? He was rolling around with gang members for protection. Now, he began to do business with this guy called Robert Ross. Now, Shaquille O'Neal and his business partner, Mark Stevens, they had a record label. Robert Ross brought a rapper to Shaq. However, whatever happened with that particular deal with the rapper that he brought to Shaq, the business broke down. Robert Ross felt like he was cheated or scammed, and him and Shaq became ops. Robert Ross still wanted some money out of Shaq. So even though the deal broke down, he began to threaten Shaq and tell Shaq, I got a sex tape of your wife. Pay up or else I'm going to release it. Now, Robert Ross, looking back, he was bluffing the entire time. He never had a sex tape with Shawnee O'Neal, but he was telling Shaq that. So Shaquille O'Neal,
he never told him that he had the sex tape with Shawnee. That was later found out and spoken about. It was all about the sex tape of Shaq having sex with a woman inside Robert Ross's house, a woman who was not Shaq's wife. And that's constantly throughout this case how they refer to the sex tape. So get your facts right, Poetic Jala. And then look what he's looking. He looked like he's reading notes. This dude is lost. Let's go.
Kept getting harassed, kept getting threatened. He wanted Robert Ross to go away permanently. Robert Ross was ultimately kidnapped by 7 Main Street Crips. So on or about February 11, 2008, in the county of Los Angeles, Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens, acting through their agents, Liddell, a.k.a. Dell Dog, and other members of Los Angeles street gang Main Street Mafia Crips, they kidnapped Robert Ross, committed an assault and battery on plaintiff, converted the personal property of plaintiff, and intentionally caused plaintiff to suffer emotional distress. This was a big deal. 7 Crips got arrested for this. Now, apparently, it wasn't just a kidnapping case. No, this was a conspiracy to commit murder. Like, their plans was to apparently kill Robert Ross, but Robert Ross escaped or didn't die. So a lot of people was committed because Shaquille O'Neal was involved in it. Somehow, a lot of people was committed to making sure either those 7 Crips get off or those 7 Crips get convicted. And the state wanted those 7 Crips to be convicted. Ultimately, they could tie Shaq to this. So what happened is there was a man called Stutterbox. Now, Stutterbox was apparently a confidential informant at that particular time. Stutterbox was working against the 7 mainstream Crips, And Stutterbox
was the
eventually took the
victim,
stand
of
against
course.
the Main Street Crips, right? Because Stutterbox was in the mix of everybody, but he was already a working informant. So all he had to do was just come and testify and tell everything. Now, there were several calls with Stutterbox and Dell Dog, who they will say was the agent or the Crip that kind of directed everything. So Stutterbox was in the know-how, right? He was on the phone with Dell Dog, and he knew everything.
He is a dodo, an imbecile. He's saying Dell Dog and Stutterbox were constantly on the phone. No, at this point, they are separated entities. A hood divided, partners and homeboys divided at this point in this interval that we're talking about. Robert Ross couldn't even contact Shaquille O'Neal or Mark Stevens anymore. Read the paperwork and stop going by what this rat is telling you to say. And stop going by what your handlers are telling you to say. Because it's easily and demonstrably false. There was one time Dell Dog wanted to talk to Stutterbox. Stutterbox was at one of their homies' house. And he told him, put that nigga on the phone. And when Dell Dog got on the phone with him, the nigga did something. And the next thing you know, the helicopter and everything was over Dell Dog. That's a fact. So no, they were not in constant communication in relations to this sex tape, etc., bro. WACK100 was the liaison. He was in a unique position. He's an employee for Deja 34 Records, security for Ray J. That was his job and his title. For Deja 34 Records, who is under investigation. Right? Also, WACK100 was Stutterbox's neighbor. He knew where Stutterbox lived. Stutterbox said he was the only one who knew where he lived. But yeah, demonstrably false. You see, these is the goofies that you niggas support, though. On the internet, these are the goofies that get 100, 200,000 subscribers. Squares, awkward, not hip about nothing, talking about those hipper than hippopotamus. Let's go.
I'm struggling with missing
Damu
teeth,
Keyway.
and that's why.
Conversations. Let's hit that like button. Let's go.
At that time, though, was also working against WACK100. Now, Stutterbox would claim he only told on WACK100 because the police was telling him that WACK100 was coming after him.
So Stutterbox is saying, this is what Flakko's claiming. I've never seen any proof of this, but let's just say that you got some inside intel from Stutterbox. He's saying he only told, which means he's still telling. He's still a rat. Because the feds told him WACK100 was working with them to get him. Because WACK100 at the time was not beefing with Robert Ross. In fact, he was helping to protect Robert Ross. We got the audio. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of that for next. Go ahead and go on. But so you're saying Robert Ross is saying that WACK100 is trying to get him. And what we're saying is, yeah, he dropped the low to his ops, to the boogeyman, which resulted in an attempted murder on Robert Ross Stutterbox and his wife. But they missed. That's called conspiracy to commit murder or attempted murder, either one. Let me go ahead and find this audio where WACK100 admits he was arming Stutterbox against it. So he's playing both sides, is what you saying. Stutterbox said that's why he started telling, because Wack is working with Stutterbox, and at the same time, he's working with Money Mark and for Money Mark as an employee at Deja 34 Records? Let me go get this content.
Because he was working a snitching on Shaq, because Shaq and WACK100 was like this. So the police told Stutterbox, yo, Wack is coming after you, bro. So Stutterbox began to snitch on Wack and claim that Wack was driving like drugs across state line with his trucking company. Wack gets pulled over, he gets raided, his house gets raided. They find a firearm, but the firearm belongs to Wack's wife, who's legal, so that didn't bring no charges. They didn't find any drugs. Right?
Where's the paperwork for this? Where's the paperwork that they only found a gun and it was registered to his wife? Because she's legit. Look at him. Side eye. Trying to read the notes he wrote on his board that CS2 Back told him to say. So where's the receipts of this? Where's the paperwork? You know what I'm saying? Where is the paperwork? Because what we do know, oh yeah, we finna get into this shit. It's time to flame this nigga up. I got about an hour and a half, and we gonna flame this nigga ass up. So we gonna go to Greg Kading's, Detective Greg Kading's. We're gonna go to Detective Greg Kading, Facebook Messenger, conversations with Duse M. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the date the WACK100 house was raided, and we're gonna also find out that they said that the gun was registered to her father, not to Kimberly Jones, but the police officer. Detective Greg Kading came on Clubhouse and said that the gun was registered to Kimberly Jones's father. It was an old gun. You know what I'm saying? This is what we know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where you getting your information, brother. You know what I'm saying? But it don't sound like it's too accurate. It's in fact, it's demonstrably false that they only found one gun and it was registered to his wife. Because we got WACK100 admitting that it was two guns. We got other people claiming it was more than two guns. So, it's such a discrepancy. WACK100 brings Greg Kading to lie about it and to say that the gun, it was one gun when it was multiple guns, plural, is even more reason and suspicious that why he's lying about the facts involved with this case. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that let us know he's not being 100% forthcoming. So, we gonna go into Facebook Messenger with Greg Kading. I'm blocked. He blocked me. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, here's all the documents, everything. You know what I'm saying? Greg Kading never told me that these were then Wack lied saying that Greg Kading was the lead detective on that case. So you admitted you didn't know what was going on with the Stutterbox Main Street case at the time. Let me blow this up. At the time you spoke with Cass Jones, it wasn't until later that you got involved with that case. He says, I was there before it started. I said, okay. And then I've sent him the link. Greg Kading says he doesn't know what Back has going on with the Main Street case. Greg became involved at a later time. Then why did you say you didn't know what was going on with Stutterbox in the whole Main Street case? So he says, I said, so were you adjoined to the Fed case before it started? And so Greg Kading, that's his white thumb, Caucasoid, Pink Panther, right? Worked January 10th 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon, Detective Bureau briefing with Chief Brennan. Met with C. Mejeromes and Mark Arenas, Dell Dog, and bringing the case to, I don't know if that's FIDTA or whatever, EOW 2000 Rampart. So, this is him, Greg Kading, saying that he met with Brennan, Mark Arenas, and them to make this case federal. The investigators on the Main Street Crip case asked me to help them federalize their case. I opened up the case as a federal case 2 weeks later. So what started off in 2000 and what was that date? 2008, January 10th. The case goes federal and is federalized 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, the case name was The Main Attraction, January 2008. Okay, so then we get into all this other paperwork, and then I get to trick him out of getting the date that WACK100 went to talk to him on the 60th floor. Oh, I must have already passed it, my bad. On the 60th floor, right? So he said it was started before. Okay, I joined 2008. He didn't have anything to say. He's defending WACK100. Okay, you can believe me or not. What date did you raid Cash Jones' house? What date did Cash Jones meet with you with counsel and spoke with you? I'll look, it might be a few days. So he never got back with the date Cash House was raided, nor the date when you spoke with him. If you gotta hide that information, I understand. No reason to hide anything. Nothing to hide. I just forgot. Okay, how soon can you get it to me? What's it for? My documentary. Search warrant, April 25th, 2008. So this case was 2000 January or February 2008. So within 2 to 3 months, WACK100 Stutterbox being kidnapped, robbed, and beaten and assaulted. Within 2 to 3 months, WACK100 was arrested. His house was raided. WACK100's house was raided Friday, April 25th, 2008. And meeting with Cash Jones, an attorney, was on Sunday, April 27th, 2008. So there you have it. He can't say he had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy who federalized the case is talking to us, bro. He's telling us that Wack House was raided. Wack did sit down and talk to them. Now we need that statement. We're down to 26 days, Cash Jones. 26 days. So we were talking about the guns, right? We were talking about the guns. He said that the gun was registered to WACK100's wife, right? He got told on. They tell him that there's guns in there. They find guns, and they're not registered to WACK100. No, he's an ex-felon in possession of a firearm. He claims he didn't live there. So you think you outsmarted the feds before they got a search warrant, because they got to have a probable cause to get a warrant to search that motherfucker. So you're telling me that they surveilled you for dozens of hours or weeks or months, put bugs on your car, and they didn't know that you didn't live there? Is that you didn't get no mail there? Or is that what you want us to believe was the reason that your case wasn't prosecuted? Because I ain't buying what you selling, man. You know what I'm saying? I am not buying what you're selling. So let's get to the content. We got let me find this for y'all real quick. I don't want to burn no time. So let's fix that real quick. So we're going to go into these guns. Once WACK100 gets here on the Sunday, once he gets to the federal building on the Sunday, 2 days after his house was done, and they found these guns and they stopped his truck. Don't forget, his 18-wheeler was stopped and searched. It's reenacted in the movie, or the whatever they call it, the documentary. The trucker, Alonzo Zoe Scott. You know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations. Is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here. Right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon.
Let me back it
can't
up
be
a little
around
bit.
firearms.
You know, we want to give y'all a little bit of more context so you know where this happening.
Soul Food restaurant. So when I get there, it's 2 females there. It's 2 females there, right? Now, most people move a certain way. I'm really an eyeball type of nigga. Wack don't do, I ain't off into. So when I get there, it's him, it's 2 chicks at the table. I sit at the table. What up, box? What you need me for? Oh man, nigga, just get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit. 2 women, 2 of my homegirls, this, that, another. I said, oh, okay, yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? About 5 minutes, he said, I'm finna go to the bathroom. When he go to the bathroom, the chick start popping. She telling me she from New Orleans. She came out here to meet with this nigga, this bitch ass nigga, and answer his phone. She come out here every month to buy 5 keys, all this shit, right? So when she talking, I'm looking at the bitch, right? Bitch bad. So when Box come back, I tell him I gotta go to the bathroom. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of making the left, I make a hard right to valet. I get on up out of there.
You chilling with the answer.
Right? When I got to the 60th floor, T-Money, guess who I saw the FBI flak jacket? The bitch.
That's crazy.
Right? So I say, damn, that's the same bitch. So by now my antennas go up like, damn, I'm saying this nigga Box with a fed and don't even know it. This one, I still ain't know what time it is, right? So we get into the conference room. They got like 7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him, all this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations. He like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms.
So WACK100 house is raided on the 25th of April, right? A Friday. Sunday, him and his attorney go to the FBI headquarters to the upper conference room, right? Top floor. He says 60th floor, 64th floor. It's only about 17. It might have felt with the weight on his shoulders. It might have felt like he traveled up 60 floors. You know what I'm saying? He discombobulated, realizing he'd been lined up. You know what I'm saying? He got the wiretap with the Fed broad, and then he got these pistols, and he's an ex-felon, right? On a Sunday. And Detective Greg Kading tells him that tells his lawyer, we got your client on two things: a gun, guns plural, and the wiretap. Listen to that again. Guns plural, these guns. Listen.
Like, is that right? We'll put them on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms, right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms are such and such. I said, well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life. He said, well, they registered to your wife. I said, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, that's your wife. I said, okay, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. I got 13 houses on my portfolio. Which one you gonna put me in various states? Right? I said, you see that? Commercial driver's license. I'm a truck driver. So you putting some guns on me that's in a California residence, but yet I pay Oklahoma state taxes? Help me understand it. Let that go. Second thing
They
had
let
against
that
me,
go.
they press
The
play.
pistols. This is
Wiretap.
what he's
This
telling
is why
us.
I know when I hear
We're lying on him about it. Then they press play wiretap. So they got him on guns and the what you call it. And it was multiple guns. And now he brought Detective Greg Kading to Clubhouse to lie. See, he said and admits it was multiple guns. But he brought Detective Greg Kading to lie. And let's hear a little bit of what Greg Kading is talking about.
Yeah, so I remember that day, and you came down there, and we basically just confronted you on the allegations and, explained to you why we.
So he came down there to the FBI headquarters and they confronted him. What? Just told us they confronted him. Nigga, we got you on these guns and we got you on this wiretap. But listen to Greg Kading's rendition of the facts on Clubhouse.
We were doing what we were doing, giving you the opportunity, with the hopes that you would know something that could help us out.
And we gave you the opportunity to rap with the hopes that you would know something. All of this was to get you to rap. We confronted you with the guns and the wiretaps, and you came with your lawyer not to get your property, but to rap. We gave you the opportunity to tell us something before you were prosecuted.
Turned out you really didn't have any information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing. But that was it. We said, hey, here's why we're here. Here's how we got here. And this is all there ultimately is to it, unless you have something you want to tell us, which was essentially nothing.
And then
which was essentially nothing. We're gonna play that one more time.
So I remember that day, and you came down there, and we basically just confronted you on the allegations and explained to you why we were doing what we were doing, giving you the opportunity, with the hopes that you would know something that could help us out. Turned out you really didn't have any information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing. But that was it. We said, hey, here's why we're here. Here's how we got here. And this is all there ultimately is to it, unless you have something you want to tell us, which was essentially nothing.
All right, and then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but no, I don't.
Back. Greg Kading never said who that the CS2 Back was fake. But let's
I don't know. Maybe
let
it
him
was some
talk
coded
alone.
shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
Well, you would have been identified as referred to most likely as like a target. And like your phone would have been target number, or your license plate would have been target whatever. It would have been, clearly understandable to anybody reading it that this has something to do with this car, this phone, this person. We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source
of
we
would have referred to you as a target or a source of now he has a brain fall. Pay attention.
Not a source of information because you weren't even that. So I'm a little vague on it right now because it's been a while, but you would have been we would have referred to you by your name, Cash Jones. We don't usually use monikers under those circumstances, like Wack or WACK100. It would just been, a target.
WACK100, I don't think WACK100 existed yet.
It may not have.
No, he wasn't created.
I don't know.
All right, well, listen, man, Reggie, I fucking appreciate you.
So, except for these guns, let's back up.
So, people do what they're going to do to make these stories more entertaining. I'm just telling you that what actually happened.
It was your movie.
Box, hold on.
It's your movie.
Got with Box. Box tells you that this guy that if you look into him, Mike could give you or lead you to him doing some illegal business with Suge Knight. That was his whole thing.
Yes.
And that guy was me.
You're right.
So where did it go from there?
So we said, all right, we'll give this information the benefit of the doubt. And we began to kind of look at you and figure, okay, well, the claim is that they're doing interstate transportation of narcotics. And so we do what we do in order to determine if there's any truth to that. And so we start investigating you. And as you know, it runs its course. We don't find anything incriminating or anything to validate the claims that Box had made. And then,
what steps did you take, Greg? Did things happen to me with my home? Like, y'all really fucking looked into me.
Yeah, we did. We looked into you. We wiretapped you and started to track your truck and do everything we could to verify whether or not the information that we were receiving was valid. And ultimately, it turned out not to be. We did a search warrant at your house and came up pretty much empty-handed, with the exception of some worn-out old gun.
With the exception of worn-out old gun,
I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that.
That I think belonged to your wife's dad or some shit like that. Not belong to his wife. So we're getting mixed in. See, this is why we need the actual evidentiary report and investigative report from Detective Greg Kading and Darren Dupree as it refers to Cash Jones. WACK100, you got 26 days left to present this paperwork, or forever your voice be banned when it comes to talking about politics, gang members, and rappers on paperwork. You yourself have questions about your paperwork that you have failed to present. You talked to him, so you weren't supposed to talk to him at all. And the reason that they brought you down there to talk to him at the federal building, because we got evidence where Greg Kading said he spoke with you at your attorney's office also. So that's 2 meetings. You were never supposed to talk to the police anyway, but you did. So you need to bring the investigative report, the search warrant, the receipt of what they take out of your house. You understand what I'm saying? And this statement up in the conference room on the 64th floor. Only you could get that. So you're well within your powers of clearing your name. We want to make sure that you aren't CS2 Back. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back to Poetic Jala, since he's talking about he knows what's going on. Poetic Jala. You know what I'm saying?
Like Wack's car. So Wack right now is sitting in a advantageous position. Wack was trying to sue LAPD. Wack was trying to sue the F out of them for the.
How was Wack in an advantageous position at suing the LAPD when they had his shit, got him on wiretaps, and he's an ex-felon in the home with multiple guns? You cannot even have constructive possession as an ex-felon to pistols. I have 0 guns in my possession at home or anywhere I go with access to it, because that is a violation of the law. I'm an ex-felon who should have no access or constructive possession to a gun or assault weapon or a pistol or firearm, period. And if Maria, or in this case, Kimberly Jones, makes access available to me constructively, she can be held liable. In fact, let me go ahead and show you what ChatGPT says. Can a spouse who has weapons in the house be held criminally liable for giving their spouse constructive possession who has firearms? Let's put that, firearm. Can a spouse who has firearms in the house in California be held criminally liable for giving their spouse constructive possession to those, give their ex-felon spouse, ex-felon's spouse constructive possession to those firearms? Let's see. Before we move on, so let's get to this. This is what they're threatening. This is how they broke him. They wanted to give him the opportunity to provide information. This is why they met him. See if he would give them information while they hold 2 things over his head. Constructive possession, an ex-felon with constructive possession to a firearm. That's a very good and legally subtle question. The short answer is yes. Under certain circumstances, a spouse could potentially be held criminally liable for giving or allowing a felon spouse constructive possession of firearms in California. But it depends heavily on the facts, how possession is defined, and whether prosecutors can prove certain elements like knowledge, control, and intent. Below is an overview of the relevant legal principles, risk factors, and uncertainties. Legal background, felon in possession and constructive possession in California. To understand whether such liability is possible, we need to look at a few key California statutes and doctrines. California's felon in possession law. In California, PC 29800 makes it unlawful for someone who has been convicted of a felony to possess, own, receive, or have custody or control of a firearm. Violations of subsection 29800 may be prosecuted as a felony, and the penalties can include incarceration, 16 months, 2 or 3 years, depending on prior record and circumstances. Oh, Wack got a prior record for shooting someone with the BB gun, the CO2 bandit, nigga. So he's an ex-felon with priors. Importantly, under subsection 29800 and related doctrine, possession need not be direct. So you don't have to directly possess the guns. Courts recognize constructive possession, i.e., the ability and intent to exercise control over a firearm, even if not physically holding it, as sufficient. So you don't have to physically hold it to have constructive possession under California law, subsection 29800. Constructive possession doctrine. Constructive possession means that a person does not have to have the firearm physically or on their person, but has knowledge and ability or intent to control it. It's within reach, in a shared area, accessible to them. So where was this gun at that they found, or guns plural, found in WACK100? So see, WACK100, you got 26 days to bring that paperwork showing us these facts. See, we need to be able to decipher all of these facts when wondering and determining whether or not you had constructive access to these guns, because this was your spouse. You know what I'm saying? In fact, this house was in your name. I'm going to show that right now also. A classic example, a firearm hidden in a bedroom or closet could be considered under someone's constructive possession if a prosecutor can show they knew it was there and had the ability to access and control it. Because constructive possession is often argued via circumstantial evidence, is less straightforward. Defense arguments often focus on lack of knowledge, lack of control, access, or that the person could not reasonably be expected to have dominion over the weapon. So that's the standard that defense attorneys try to argue against. But constructive possession, aiding and abetting, accessory liability. This is Kimberly Jones, y'all. Kimberly Jones, because this gun was found in the house that she lived with her husband, even though Cass Jones owns that house singularly, right? If a spouse intentionally arranges for a felon to gain access or control over a firearm, she makes it by making it accessible, handing over control, unlocking the safe, or otherwise facilitating access. That could arguably support a theory of aiding and abetting or accessory liability, depending on how the prosecution frames the case. Hey, look, man, we could frame this case and have the DA frame this case for aiding and abetting an ex-convict in possession of a firearm. See, so WACK100, what do you got for us? What can you tell us about the main streets? Well, what can you tell us about Mary and Suge Knight in the murder of Biggie Smalls? This is the leverage they approached WACK100 with 2 days after raiding his house. When he came to the FBI headquarters, this is the leverage. So you saying WACK100 was in an advantageous position is malarkey. It's you running a false narrative with WACK100 when the evidence substantiates different. So another reason, 26-day countdown, WACK100 bring that work to the yard or roll it up in a little burrito and go tell them people you can't be here no more. Let's go.
Great. Now, again, this is all documented stuff. Like this is all
Well,
stuff
where's
that's
the
on paper.
document?
Like this is all documented.
Where's the documents, Poetik Flakko? I'm glad that you said that this was all documented. So where are the documents, Poetik Flakko? I challenge you and WACK100 to bring these documents to No Jumper. Since these are documented, where? Let's see them. Since you're substantiating such, since you're putting your name on the line. I've seen this a couple times before. Young Ant Buffet. You know what I'm saying? Where are these documents? Let's go.
Wack is trying to sue them. So
where's the
corrupt
documents
cop Greg
of
Kading,
the
you
suit?
heard that name before. He's the cop that apparently solved Biggie's murder, or he's also the cop that did the proffer with Keefe D, but then eventually leaked the proffer, right, of Keefe D confessing to Tupac's murder. So corrupt cop Greg Kading tells Wack and his attorney, bro, listen, okay, please. I will tell you who tipped us off to you, right? Just so you know, okay? But bro, between me and you, bro, like chill. So Wack lawyer kind of convinced him, hey, bro, right, you don't want to piss them off too much, bro. Like, you know, like it was a raid. There's not much you can get out of this, to be honest. But he's willing to tell us who tipped him off to you, right? Don't you want to know who the confidential informant is? So Greg Kading tells Wack, yo, Stutterbox told on you. Yo, Stutterbox is working. Wack gets this information and Wack begins to expose Stutterbox, just like how Wack has been exposing people on the internet over the last couple of years, right? But in the streets is your word versus my word.
No.
Right? It's, yo, he a snitch. No, hell not a snitch. So
No,
it's
no,
Stutterbox
no, no,
word
no,
versus
no, no,
WACK100
no, no,
word,
no.
right? And
No,
Stutterbox
it's
was
not.
denying everything.
Let's go ahead and fix this. It was not WACK100's word versus Stutterbox. WACK100 is caught on the wiretap telling Mark Stevens that Stutterbox and that he needs to talk to Dell Dog because Stutterbox went sour and the phones is tapped. They didn't not believe that Stutterbox had lined them up. In fact, they knew that WACK100 was coming to try to line Dell Dog up and get him on the phone call. So Dell Dog is on the wiretap advising Mark Stevens to get WACK100 back to talk about certain things when he calls them back. Mark Stevens, when you call them, you know that's what they got going on. They trying to get us on the wiretap. So you get him on the wiretap to talk about certain things. To talk about certain things like him dropping the low about where Stutterbox live. This is on wiretap. And we're going to get to that. But first, let me go ahead and pause this real quick. So we're going to stop it right there and get to the facts, right? So while you're pushing as if it's a fact that WACK100 was going to sue them, he threatened Greg Kading, the dirty cop, and all of this shit, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to take you back to scandalous Los Angeles TV. Most scandalous Los Angeles TV. Y'all just kick back. I know we got y'all with the truth, man. The real. These other niggas just can't feel. Damu Keyway.
Tripping, time keeps on slipping. West Coast tripping, time keeps on slipping.
WACK100, whose real name is Cash Jones, is a music industry executive, manager, and entertainment personality. He has been involved in the hip-hop industry and has managed several artists. WACK100 is also known for his outspoken nature and has been involved in various controversies and public disputes. Managers and label heads get things done, and Wack assumes those roles for artists like Game and Blueface. But Wack's controversial comments, like his recent thoughts on Mark Stevens and Big U, have taken precedence in the news cycle. Wack believes the media's focus on the controversy is par for the course for him, a 46-year-old formerly incarcerated Pacoima, California native who says he was the first minor in the California state prison system at just 16. He came home in 1999, learned about the music game through working security for former Compton police officer Reggie Wright Jr., and propelled himself into an increasingly important position in the music industry. Wack is a frequent user of Clubhouse, where he single-handedly birthed an ecosystem of YouTube pages that screen record the arguments he has with everyone, from Spiderloke to Jim Jones. The blogosphere thrives off negativity, and his most fiery moments feed that hunger, which fuels a perception that he's naturally contentious. He's been condemned by some for moments like his live-streamed argument with former Blueface artist Chrisian Rock, or his taboo opinions of artists like Tupac and Nipsey Hussle. A few months ago, Wack took to Clubhouse to enlighten his listeners and inform them about his hidden involvement in the high-profile lawsuit that accused Shaquille O'Neal and 7 Main Street Mafia Crips of kidnapping and extorting Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox. Wack stated that he reached out to LAPD Detective Greg Kading to orchestrate a play that would free Shaq and the main streets. We also reached out to Detective Kading, as we were interested in hearing the details in his words. I'll let Wack tell the story first. Then we'll hear what Greg has to say in response.
The officer Greg Kading and Darren Dupree or some shit.
Yeah.
When we coming outside on the stairway, me and my attorney, they stop us. They say, look, man, we can't afford this harassment lawsuit you file. You know, I'm beyond the gated community. I'm claiming I'm embarrassed. I got to move my family. My wife is traumatized. She kicked my dough in. I'm putting extras on it, right?
Right.
They said, listen, man. They advised my attorney. My attorney said, look, dude said, drop the case and they owe you one. If you don't drop it, right, then you know what come with that. My attorney's talking to me. He know my personal business and say, you know how you are every day, so you don't really need that in your mix. So I said, well, listen, I don't need no motherfuckers hemming me up every day. We figured out as we figured out. I leave it like that. About 6 months go by, I look at the media, I see they got Shaq tied up. They making accusations that Shaq paid the Main Street Crips to go kidnap this dude, Stutterbox. It wasn't at LA Live, it was on Sunset Boulevard, right? So they tied Shaq into it. Shaq had did videos with the Main Streets, because Box was his dude. They using all this shit against him, saying he's tied into the gang culture and all this shit, blase, 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 right? I call my man Money Mark, right? Money Mark is Shaquille's right-hand man, his business partner. I say, yo, Mark, check it out. Call my attorney. Tell my attorney, I said, put you online with that federal officer. Have your attorney call that federal officer to the stand. But first tell him to call Box to the stand. You want him to do one thing and one thing only. Ask Box if he's a federal informant, document it. Everybody from LA's in the courtroom, he's gonna lie. Trust me, I know him, he's gonna lie. When that happens, I'm giving you a jewel because Shaq looked out for me, right? I don't need this favor, so I'm passing it to you. Have your attorney call this Greg Kading in, have him take the stand, and then let him tell the judge and present the documents he had, the fingerprints, all the paperwork, the payments they've been paying this dude every month to show that this dude is a federal informant. At that point in time, Box has perjured himself on the stand. Whatever allegations against Shaq and anybody else tied to the case, they got to kick it out. I lay back. Money Mark calls my attorney. My attorney called me. I said, yeah, give him that information. That favor they owe me, let them use it. He need it. I don't need it. Because they got Shaq in the trick bag. You can go to Google. That shit is still on Google. They do all that. Sure enough, he get up there, box under oath, denies it, all this. They call Greg Kading in the motherfucker. Greg Kading's coming with his file, hands it to the judge. The judge open it up. I guess, I don't know, it's some type of contract you sign when you signing up for these type of things, formal programs or whatever. The judge looks at it, calls, makes sure it's authentic, throws the case out. Not only does Shaq walk, but all the Main Street Crips walk too that day out of court. That's how that happened.
All right then.
Damn, Wack, you the one that saved Shaq then.
I saved
Right, I was about to say
and all the
that.
main streets. Just real shit.
Okay, all of that is absolute bullshit, except for the fact we met him at his lawyer's office. We sat down. We said, "Here's the deal, man. You know, we've had this case again."
All of that is bullshit. This is Detective Greg Kading. He said that all of that is bullshit, and they met WACK100 at his attorney's office. I thought Wack said that they met at the 60th floor of the FBI headquarters building. They both agreed to that. So Wack had to talk to the task force and meet with them twice, because what he told them was twice as nice. Pay attention.
Shit, except for the fact we met him at his lawyer's office. We sat down. We said, "Here's the deal, man. You know, we've had this case against you. We came up empty-handed. You know, sorry that you got caught in the middle of this. Somebody put your name out there. We didn't know any better, so we followed. You know, we gave fucking Stutterbox the benefit of the doubt. Here we are. You know, was there an apology? Nah, I don't know. It's my style to kind of apologize. Sorry you had to fucking go through this. But nonetheless, it is what it is. The idea of suing us, fucking bullshit. Us having an agreement like we owe you one, bullshit. The idea of him having anything to do with the trial of when Stutterbox went to testify and the thing fell apart. Cash had absolutely nothing to do with any of that. So he's just taking all of these pieces of information and putting them together like he was the puppet master. It's all absolute bullshit.
Just because it's wet outside, you don't need to wear boots. Presenting Skechers waterproof sneakers with rugged 100% water.
Nasty work, man. Let's go ahead and cut that out. CS2 Back. And Poetic Jolly, I guess he already figured he doesn't have any credibility, you know what I'm saying? So he don't feel like he's moving much. And he probably feels that his followers are stupid. Sheeples for even believing them, for even following behind them, they cornballs, right? So let's get back to Poetic Jolly. Now that we know everything he's saying is truth, is bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Trial of the 7 mainstream Crips started. Stutterbox was called to take the stand against them and testify against them because Stutterbox has been on wiretaps on the phone with Dell Dog, who's supposed to be like the orchestrator of everything. So when Stutterbox was taking a stand, WACK100 knew everything about Stutterbox. WACK100 told his attorney, "Listen, here is all the terrible things I know about Stutterbox. Tell the defense attorneys for the 7 Main Street Crips, yo, ask him this. I'll bet you he's gonna lie about that on the stand. I'll bet you.
Bullshit.
He's gonna lie about that, and he's not gonna be credible." So WACK100 gave him like the information. They asked Stutterbox this, and Stutterbox fed right into it. He lied, he perjured himself, and Stutterbox like testimony got thrown out. Well, Stutterbox was like the start witness outside of Robert Ross, and that led to the 7 Main Street Crips be in the case.
Is Robert Ross
because of that particular part,
this dude is.
Right?
Listen how stupid he is.
Was like the start witness outside of Robert Ross.
Stutterbox was the...
So WACK100 gave him like the information. They asked Stutterbox this, and Stutterbox fed right into it. He lied, he perjured himself, and Stutterbox like testimony got thrown out. Well, Stutterbox was like the start witness outside of Robert Ross.
Stutterbox was like the star witness outside of Robert Ross. Robert Ross is Stutterbox, you imbecile. This is the nigga that y'all listening to, bro. Goofy. You don't know what the hell's going on, bro. This nigga lost in the song.
And that led to the 7 Main Street Crips beating the case. Now, because of that particular part, right, being involved or being a part of it, right, because WACK100 was involved, I think, in helping the Main Street Crips beat the case.
You think?
WACK100 enemies,
strong suit,
they dropped the documentary. And in this documentary, they reference a call. It was a call with Dell Dog, which is the
WACK100's enemies drop a documentary. So he doesn't want to say my name. It hurts them to say my name, but that's okay. The world knows whose it is. Worldstar know whose it is. The court know whose it is. You can't take that away, right?
Leader who orchestrated the kidnapping of Robert Ross. It was Stutterbox, and it was a guy called CS2 Back. So now the enemies of WACK100 is saying, hold on. Well, if you help them beat the case, then how come your name not in the paperwork?
Ain't nobody said that. Because we know he didn't help him beat the case. He was trying to line both of them up on the wiretap. We already know this. So, good try, though.
Well, he did it through his lawyer. And then they're saying, hold on.
How do you know he did it through his lawyer? Because Mark Stevens said that was a lie, and so did Detective Greg Kading. So who are you just whatever Wack tell you said? Look how he's looking to the side. He's reading notes. Look at
his name ain't in the paperwork because WACK100 must be CS2 Back. Now, CS2 Back stands for Confidential Informant Back.
We ain't even said his name wasn't in the paperwork. That's what Wack been saying. That his name not in the paperwork. I can show you right now. Well, we gonna show it because when we go live with this video, I'm gonna break the paperwork down at the end. We gonna get this out early to y'all, and so don't even trip. We gonna show you WACK100's name in the paperwork, the Wack boy, as well as Cash Jones. Let's go.
And the only evidence they're saying that Wack and CS2 Back is they're claiming that the name sound alike.
No.
That the name CS2 Back sounds like Wack. So Wack.
No, that's not why we're saying he's CS2 Back. We're saying he's CS2 Back because CS2 Back is on that wiretap with Mark Stevens trying to get in contact with Dell Dog. We're saying he's CS2 Back because when we asked Mark Stevens who was that he was talking to, he said, I don't know no Back. So Mark Stevens' lawyers told him, oh no, Back is Wack. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
400 must be CS2 Back. I've taken the position of, I'm not going with this until I see the black and white paperwork. Right?
I will show.
Bricc Baby is my brother. WACK100 is my brother. I'm not picking sides in their beef. Just like how I made that video saying, I'm not calling Bricc Baby a snitch or a rat until I see black and white paperwork. I'm not saying WACK100 is CS2 Back, or I'm not calling WACK100 no rat until I see the black and white. Until I see Cash Jones sign a proffer saying this. Or yo, Cash Jones interrogation, or yo, Cash. Bro, if there's no black and white, yo, bro, y'all gotta stop calling people rats. If there's no black and white, or unless in the case of, let's say, Jeezy, right, where the literal FBI agent is coming out and saying, yeah, he did it. But yeah, that's who CS2 Back is. That's who they're claiming it is, okay? But WACK100, from my perspective, is not CS2 Back. CS2 Back was a confidential informant that was on the phone with Stutterbox and Dell Dog.
No.
Right? And
he wasn't on the phone with
on that
Stutterbox
conversation with Dell Dog to the folks and got Dell.
He was not on the phone conversation with Dell Dog. Dell Dog refused to get on the phone with him. He was not on the phone with Stutterbox. The wiretap, he was on the phone call with Mark Stevens, who clicks over to call dog and get permission before he gave him CS2 Back his number. Dell dog refused. So no, you're wrong about all of that. You're lost in the sauce. Again, this is the type of shit that goes on the internet, and y'all run with it as truth.
Dog caught up as well, right? So that's the back. So that's the backstory. So when you hear Bricc Baby say CS2 Back, just know that's what he's referring to. Now we also have audio of WACK100 addressing this, and we'll also play that shortly.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go.
But what happened to the case? How you get off from the conspiracy case? You gave Dell Dog the information why them phones was tapped, and Stutterbox got shot up. His house or his car got shot up, and you was to blame for it. They came and kicked your door. You let your wife go down for the blower. You know what I mean? Another bitch ass nigga move. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You got your girls. It wasn't. I don't think that it was registered to her. I don't want to get ahead of the game, but your girl didn't have a registered blower. You let her take the case. And so that means you told on your bitch and you told on them niggas from Main Street. Well, you tried to. They already knew you was hot and they wouldn't answer none of your phone calls. Because what you said in a YouTube or a Clubhouse room, you said that, hey, do you know somebody told on me? You said, hey, all I was trying to do was holler at Dell Dog and tell him that Stutterbox might be telling. But guess what? That's all CS2 Back was talking about in his paperwork.
Right.
They was just trying to get to Double D. Double D say, I don't want to talk to Wack. I don't know how CS2 Back got switched up to Wack, but they say they don't want to talk to the Wack nigga. So Mr. Cash Jones, this is we gonna do it like we on the yard. We giving you a 30-day challenge, right? To come produce that paperwork or hang your chucks up on the wire. We don't want to hear the excuses. We don't want you to babble on about, oh, everybody just want me to be a snitch. We just want the facts to be facts. All my paperwork is public property. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, all you got to do is go to whatever hall of records you could go to. Go get that paperwork, which you probably got in the house. You probably burnt that shit, though. You don't want that shit nowhere around you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wack took the Clubhouse to respond to Bricc Baby. The misconception here is because people don't have the full story, they think that WACK100 was charged. WACK100 is not a Main Street Crip, right? WACK100 is a Pyru. He wasn't charged with the Main Street Crip in the conspiracy to commit murder. No, WACK100 and Shaq, which is really cool. And WACK100,
no, they're not.
Like, kind of helped them beat the case.
Show us that where WACK100 and Shaq are really cool at. Show us where you're getting this proof at. Because Shaq doesn't like the nigger tube. He don't like the nigger net. You know what I'm saying? The nigger net. He don't like that. And one of the most notorious names on the nigger net is CS2 Back, WACK100. So what do you mean? You gotta show proof, nigga.
No, by giving up Stutterbox to their defense attorneys, okay? But WACK100 is not a Main Street Crip. CS2 Back cannot be WACK100 because WACK100 isn't a Crip, nor was WACK100 ever charged with conspiracy to like commit murder. And
we
that's
never
where the
said that he was
is, right?
charged.
CS2 Back, I believe, was
We
somebody.
never said CS2 Back was charged for the conspiracy to unalive Stutterbox. No, we're saying that once he got caught, he told, so he was never charged. He was arrested. That's what we said. By the police, and we didn't just say that. Detective Michael Coes said that, and we'll show that also. Let's go.
Who was charged, or one of the people who was involved somehow who turned bad. So Wack responds back to Bricc Baby, and here's what he has to say.
We saying so much dumb. That nigga said I got 30 days to cover my paperwork. What paperwork, you stupid? What double charge of location? Idiot. It's so dumb. And then he said all topic that he must have forgot all the clips we got. You got arrested for AK. No, I didn't. Oh no, you didn't.
Why is you deflecting
You
talking
do you
about
not know
what
we
he
got
did?
your paperwork
We
now,
talking
nigga?
about
That
your
when the day you
paperwork,
got
nigga.
arrested for
We don't want to see
AK-47, the day you got
nobody
said,
paperwork but
I ain't never
yours.
been on no
Until you show
wiretaps.
that,
Nigga, you on a
we don't
wiretap
want you
right
to
here,
bring nobody else
threatening your
paperwork.
baby mama. This why they raided your house on June 23rd. Yeah. He's slow. Now when I go on there and over him, wax the bully. Said I had a murder for hire case.
Right.
What the f? I had a murder for hire. Then it said, you got Stutterbox Rolls Royce. See, this is how you know a lot of these dudes wasn't around. A lot of these people that be
What that got to
talking
do
now,
with your paperwork? Bring the
y'all
paperwork. We
wasn't
don't believe
around
you. You
in them
need more
days.
paperwork.
Because if
We
you was
don't believe
around, you would known.
How he got everybody
Stutterbox Rolls
paperwork
Royce
but his
got
own?
years before he got into it with Dell, dog. Redondo Beach over there, we went to get the Mexican food. Somewhere over there. But he wasn't around. Like, how old is that dude? He might have, I bet he mid-30s. He might have been 10, 11 years old. Yeah, you wasn't right. That's some 2002, 3. Let me see. A lot of these dudes wasn't around. Y'all just wasn't around.
Regardless of what y'all think about WACK100, WACK100 is currently suing Worldstar because Worldstar published this on their YouTube channel. So if he's currently suing Worldstar because this is fake, like, yo, Worldstar is $1 million company. Worldstar has all the resources to find out if this is true or not. You feel me? So like, it's kind of hard for this to be true while still being involved in suing Worldstar, and Worldstar actually like
how is
sent
it
Wack
kind
a
of
couple
hard
settlement
for this
offers
to be true because he sued Worldstar? You do understand he backed himself and we backed him into a corner and forced him to have to do it because he said he was going to sue Money Mark Stevens. He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But even more than that, we're going to go ahead and get to the content, right? We're going to get to the content. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for him to be guilty of this, and he's suing Worldstar. No, Worldstar is saying that WACK100, let me see, affirmative defenses. Okay, let me show you this ignorant Sambo poetic Jala. I'm gonna show poetic Jala what Worldstar is saying about CS2 Back in this lawsuit. Second affirmative defense. Plaintiff's claims are barred in whole or in part because statements allegedly made by or attributed to the defendant in the documentary were substantially true. Defendant being Worldstar Hip Hop. So he's trying to hold Worldstar Hip Hop accountable for my documentary, for publishing my documentary. And they said that the statements allegedly made, WACK100 being CS2 Back, being a rat, were substantially true. And defendant had, and Worldstar had reasonable grounds for believing the truth of these statements. So what do you mean it could be hard to be true? See, in a lawsuit, it's not a one-way thing. See, there's the law, there's the defendant, there's the plaintiff, and then the law and the judge and jury will determine who was right, who was wrong. Worldstar and dug in. They been dug in. They said that the words in the documentary that Wack is claiming is defamation are substantially true. And they had reasonable grounds to believe that they were true. I'm just saying, poetic Jala, lost in the sauce, lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with this idiotic piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because they recognize them, like we, you know, like we messed up. Now, WACK100 actually confronted the person who published like the video that was on Worldstar accusing WACK100 of being CS2 Back or accusing WACK100 of being a snitch. Now, this all happened on Clubhouse, and Wack confronted them, and here's the full conversation.
This charger actually repairs your phone while charging, and everyone thinks it's too good to be true. Nobody believed me at first, but now every
Put Cash Jones on what demonstration? Nigga, Cash Jones don't do no crime.
Why you trying to act like we don't know what we talking about? You
Hey,
put
nigga, we
put
seen
Cash
the work.
Jones on the lawsuit.
We seen the work. Cash Jones on what? On the paperwork you filed on. Paperwork you bitch.
There has been no lawsuit filed against Cash Jones at this moment. That's tend to change like within the next, today the 16th, so we got to the 26th. Worldstar got to the 26th to give me my money and agree to them terms, or I will be filing the copyright infringement claim on Worldstar Hip Hop and WACK100 and YouTube. And so it was no lawsuit filed with Cash Jones' name in it. Now, what was filed was a demand for payment. And I'll show y'all that also. You know what I'm saying?
Copyright infringement.
And it was for copyright infringement. That's why he trying to overtalk it and portray like I did the same thing he did. No, you're claiming defamation and you fear for your life and I put your life at substantial risk and all of this shit. I'm saying I own this video, this movie, this film, registered it and everything to make money, and you're claiming that is mine. So that's why WACK100 was served and named on a demand for payment. Worldstar Hip Hop was also served a demand. Well, now they've been served 2 demands. And we'll get into that. I got, let me see, 9 days. If they don't give me my money and my deal in 9 days, then I'm going to be filing a lawsuit. So all of that shit is going to be made public that day. Filings from the original demand for me, as well as my attorney, who I just relieved of her services. Let's go.
Bastard ass up. Yeah, nigga. Shut your right. And it didn't work. It's called having a legal team. It's called having a legal team. This is how slow this
You remind me of that
He's so upset that I exposed him
what that
in
nigga say
CS2
is
Back. That you ain't exposed. Hey, stupid. The minute you touch my face, big dummy, this why they gotta pay me. Stupid.
The minute that you what my face, you ain't exposed me. Listen to her. He just yelling. It's so immature.
This is how slow this
You remind me of that
He's so upset that I exposed him
what that
in
nigga say
CS2
is
Back. That you ain't exposed. Hey, stupid. The minute you touch my face, big dummy.
The minute you rank my face, big dummy.
This why they gotta pay me. Stupid.
No,
bro,
that's not why.
Do you even know you is lost? They done made me 3 offers already. Are you crazy? So you think put that on name made me no offers. On the dead homies, you think World on your dead homies they made me offer? Wait. Did you just
I told him on the dead homies, they haven't been talking to me. Look, he's over talking me.
Put that on your dead homies. On the dead homies. Worldstar been hollering at me.
On the dead homies, Worldstar been hollering at me.
Are you saying they ain't make me offer? It's substantially true. Wait.
And I just read to y'all, they filed a motion saying that they should dismiss the lawsuit. The court should dismiss your lawsuit because it was substantially true. Everything in that documentary was substantially true. That's what they said. He's speaking over me. Have y'all heard a lie yet?
Video substantially put that on your dead homies. Worldstar has not made me an offer.
Too emotionally invested.
Hold on, Chuck. Let's get this content. Put that on your dead homies. Worldstar LA Media has not made me an offer to settle. Put that on your dead homies. Dead homies, they ain't offered you no money. Hey, Chuck, I'm going to send you something right now.
So he's saying that he sent Chuck the thing. No, nigga, you got Poetik Flakko defending you. Why don't you present the offer publicly? Why don't you present the paperwork offering you a certain amount of money? Why? Why not? CS2 Back, since they got him, we don't believe Cheeseburger Chuck, and we don't believe you. And what y'all is faking the missing, I don't know if they cut it out or if you finna hear it, if they offered him a deal, it had to be within the last couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, either that day or within 2 to 3 weeks from the day I confronted him on Clubhouse. Let's go.
Yeah, you just blew your shit up. Hold on.
Hey, Deuce, why you do that, bro?
You just blew your shit up. You just blew your shit up. Look, Chuck, and I laughed at him. Hold on, Chuck. You just blew your shit up. I can't just think crazy.
I'm waiting for it right
Chuck,
now.
keep that to yourself. We want him to keep putting that on his dead homies. And when I get the money, right?
When you get the money, they offer you three what you call this? When you get the money, post.
Because I counted them. And I know what I'm going to take.
Because I counted them. Because I know what I'm going to take.
I'm going to let you do this.
You ain't getting no money.
Right now, I'm going to keep the numbers to myself.
Don't say.
Right now.
Worldstar Hip Hop said that the allegations are substantially true inside the documentary. They filed for the motion under the anti-slap laws to dismiss the case. The judge
lost that, stupid.
They did lose that motion, but they're appealing it.
It's on.
Guess what he don't want y'all to know. Let's go.
They lost the slap law. They lost that.
They lost the slap law.
On they lost it. The judge told them, you can't provide no information saying that this is him.
Look. That's not what the judge told them at all, nigga. At all. That is not what the judge said. Tell them to show that paperwork. That's a public filing. Show what's in the paperwork where the judge says that they have shown nothing to show that you are him. And don't even trip because they got everything now. They'll be showing it to it, but show it that. I ain't seen that in none of the paperwork.
Hey, yo, Chuck, he just put that on his dead homies. They ain't offered me nothing.
Yeah,
you got that on record, right?
Yeah.
Just hold that. Don't even show him. I just wanted to send it to you so you can see it. September 25th, right?
Yeah.
Stupid. You's a dummy.
Hey, dude, you know I don't lie.
You know
bro.
what's crazy?
You know that.
Put that on your dead.
September 25th. All right, send me
September 25th. Stupid.
September 25th is the day. I think I'm gonna file my lawsuit the day after the 25th, the 26th or the 27th. I'm finna look at my paperworks with Worldstar Hip Hop owners, the Media Lab, and see how many more days they got to pay me my money. And you're gonna hear they probably offered him some after I got it because it's the same date. Let's go. Yeah, I said it had to be within the last 2 weeks. Because before that,
you just put that on your dead homie. Oh,
no,
we ain't doing that.
The WACK100, the Worldstar paperwork is public. Is moving. Like Worldstar tried to get it tossed out. The judge said it can't be tossed out because Worldstar can't prove that WACK100 is a rat. And they published it.
He's lying.
Because the documentary, they were saying it with almost certain.
He's lying. Where does it say that, Poetic Jala? Let's go.
So yo, WACK100 is this. Now I know WACK100 got 6-figure offers from Worldstar. He declined it. He denied it.
WACK100.
Again, man, regardless of your feelings about WACK,
six-figure offer. WACK100 that showed him 6-figure offer. How else would he know that? Let's go. Because that's what WACK telling you, and you believe them. You slow as molasses. Nigga, this nigga square as a pool table. Green as a pool table, twice as square, man. Let's finish this, nigga, man.
It's never good, as a fan to look at these things and automatically want to go with it, even though you have no proof. Okay, but y'all let me know in the comment section what do you guys think? What do you guys believe? Do y'all believe Wack is CS2 back or not? Let me know. Okay, I personally don't. Now, if you're still watching this video and you want to know how to grow on YouTube, I'll put together a full course where I teach you how to grow on YouTube the fast way. All right. Now, if you follow this course, you should get 10,000 subscribers within 3 months. All right. And start making a lot of money. Click on this video right here to find out. All right. about something that took place yesterday involving Stephen A. Smith. Apparently, Stephen A. Smith friends are exposing him badly. Click on this video.
So now, Media Lab. Media Lab. Well, we already showed y'all what Media Lab said with that, but we finna dive deeper. How deep? Deeper than Atlantis. Boom, boom, boom. Gorillas in the mist. Voodoo. Running from my magic. Gorillas in the mist. So I put that on the dead homies. That Worldstar has been hollering at me. Well, y'all want to see? Y'all see this? O'Hagan Meyer Attorneys Advisors. Woodland Hills. This is Media Lab's attorney. Brooke Noel D. Royez, associate attorney, but it was two of them on the phone call with me. Brooke Royez. Yes, 12 o'clock is good. Good evening, Lamonte. Do you have availability for a call to discuss? I have availability tomorrow at 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m. Please let me know what time best works to connect. This is the attorneys for, and then Clint Robinson. He's the other one. So these were the two people on the call with me. I am Lamonte Sims, and then I give them the false character allegation falsely tied to civil litigation by Cash Jones. This is what we're talking about, and this was on, what date was this? September 10th. This month, I've already spoken with Worldstar at least one time. This is evidence of at least one time we communicated through email and set up a phone call for the next day. For the next day. I'm going to let y'all think about what why Worldstar would be contacting Duse M. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what we going to do is we're going to get, let me pause this real quick. I got to piss. We're going to get right back to it. Hold on. So as we continue to count down, this one right here is WACK100, Declaration of WACK100. You know what I'm saying? There goes electronically filed, Superior Court. And there goes his attorney's name right there. You know what I'm saying? Sing, and Trovin. You know what I'm saying? That they filed it, attorneys for WACK100. And this was January 22nd, a declaration, a statement where he talks about his role. But look how he starts it. This is the crazy. I, Cash M. Jones, declare as follows. I am the plaintiff in this action. Unless otherwise noted, I have personal knowledge of the following facts, and if called and sworn as a witness, I could and would competently testify thereto under oath. He's going on his word, and he's saying that all of this is a lie, that he's not an informant, and all of this stuff. This might get him in jail. Once it's found out that he's lying under oath, this might get him in jail. This might have the total negative effect on him. So it goes all the way into this paperwork, right? And then right here, if you pay attention, he says a true copy of Sims. Oh, notably, hold on, let's get up here a little bit. The source, this is under penalty of perjury. The source and author of the defamatory statements as published and disseminated by Worldstar Hip Hop is a felon, widely known to be biased against and openly hostile towards me. 16. Specifically, the author of the video is Lamonte Sims, aka Duse M. Sims, a convicted felon who serves as self-proclaimed CEO of ActiveChuckss Entertainment. See, Poetic Jala. I know it hurts you to say a real nigga name. You'll keep these fuck niggas' names on your tongue and get stamped by fuck niggas because you know a real nigga gonna call that fake shit out. Sims has a well-documented pattern of engaging in vexatious litigation and long ago initiated a public campaign of defamation and harassment directed at me. Ain't that the tea kettle calling the skillet black? All right, so he talks about the podcast I did here. Simply put, Sims, disdain, all of this shit. Sims. As a result of Worldstar's publication of and dissemination of the video and the defamatory statements, I have suffered significant harm to my property, business, trade, and profession. The false and defamatory statements have caused me severe emotional, reputational, and financial harm, and have even jeopardized my personal safety by placing my life in danger. This is, if he testified, this is what he testifying to, man. This is CS2 Back, nigga. This is what the paperwork is saying. Well, this is what he said in the paperwork. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this, right? We're going to close that, and then we're going to go to declaration. O'Hagan Meyer. So this is the work, right? Declaration of Brooke Noel D. Royez in support of a special motion to strike plaintiff's complaint. So this is 9/9/2024. They were trying to get the complaints struck, and they go into all of this different stuff, the different statements, and they said that it was because it was substantially true. So in any event, we're going to get into this last video to give y'all better, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to get too complex on y'all and bore y'all out, but it was a lot of stuff. And once we live, we're going to go through some more stuff, you know what I'm saying? The actual paperwork. We're going to go through the actual paperwork. I'm finna juice up, smoke, and then set up the live. As soon as I do that, then and then we'll be done. But we got a 23-minute video. Y'all bear with us. The Ruler Report. He said before he didn't believe the CS2 Back thing, and people got on his head. He hollered at me, and now let's see how many views he got on this thing. Yeah.
Right now, you
shout out to the Ruler Report.
Plus Cellular makes it easy to switch and to get
$1,100. Brother, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But now that you're here, just do your due diligence. Let the facts take you wherever you at.
Bricc Baby gave Wack 30 days to come up with some paperwork. He actually asked for any case besides the Oklahoma cases. I think most people have their own understanding about what took place in Oklahoma. But he asked for every other case that he's ever been charged with where he didn't go to jail, as well as the ones that I'm guessing where he went to jail. Because I asked at the end of my reaction, what paperwork was Bricc asking for? And I had to go back and rewatch the video and kind of really listen to exactly what he was saying. Now, with that being said, a lot of people got my comments and began to talk about this CS2 Back situation that I've been lightweight tiptoeing around because I didn't have all the information. Well, since then, I received a flurry of links as well as paperwork. So we're going to start kind of covering some of this and unraveling what's what. Now, to give you a closer idea of what the actual CS2 Back case is about, or the CS2 Back name, where it comes from, you have to first go into a story about Shaquille O'Neal. And we're going to watch this video, and we're going to give y'all a fast forward, high speed update to everybody can get on the same page as me. Some of y'all may already be on this page, but let's just dive into it right now.
On the night of February 10th, 2008, a man by the name of Robert Ross went into a convenience store in West Hollywood. He was then kidnapped at gunpoint and was forced to drive to a home in South Central Los Angeles, in the territory of the Main Street Mafia Crips. There, he was beaten, robbed, and demanded to return Shaquille O'Neal's sex tape. The year is now 2004, and the Los Angeles Lakers are losing their groove. They lost their first NBA Finals in the Kobe and Shaq era, and while their status was nothing but solidified, Shaq's time in LA was almost up. Around this time, Shaq created a new label with his cousin Money Mark Stevens, a shrewd businessman who he regularly consulted with while he had Twism Records.
All right, so that's something interesting that I didn't know. I didn't know that Mark Stevens and Shaq was cousins, but I've been seeing his name in the paperwork. All right.
Which went under in 2001. This time, Shaq was looking to be the executive rather than the talent, and was looking for artists to partner with for his label. Now, enter Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox, due to his penchant for stuttering when he gets nervous or excited. He met Shaquille O'Neal at a party in LA in around 2003, and they became good friends. Stutterbox happened to know a lot of people around the music scene in LA.
So Stutterbox and Robert Ross is the same individual. Okay.
Shaq's new label, looking for new artists, commissioned Stutterbox to go and find new people for him. And he followed through, plus interest it seems. Enough to where Shaq shouted him out in a 2006 remix of his song with a Notorious B.I.G.
Stutterbox, box.
Oh, Stutterbox was in the video. It's getting interesting.
It's not all he shouted out though. In fact, he had a lot of guys in a set to rap.
Man, Money Marcus Bullet, Cousin Kenny is my cat, man. Dog and Box got my back, man. K Slay Corey.
Dog and Box got my back, man. So I'm kind of like going like probably ahead of what he's gonna say. But I imagine when he say Dog and Box got my back, man, he's talking about Dell Dog, a famous Main Street Crip, and Stutterbox, who also is or was a Main Street Crip.
Guns Main Street, no Shaq, man.
And he shouts out Main Street. Okay.
So, who are these guys? And what's Main Street? Well, see, Robert Ross was affiliated with the Main Street Mafia Crips of South Central LA. This is where stuff gets sticky. While I've lived in South Central LA before, I have not had a singular gang interaction. Like, the closest I got, I went to a basketball court alone on the weekend, broad daylight. It's the middle of the day on a weekend, and there's no kids, no one around. I'm wondering what's going on. I see some gang tags, I put it together, and I get up out of there. I turn on the jets. I am not about that life. So I brought in someone who is. Lamonte Duse M Sims is an OG coming from the Fruittown Brims, a set of the Bloods in West South Central. He's worked with guys like YG and Ty Dolla $ign before, and featured on the viral Brim anthem, Hit Your Brimmin'. He's also the owner of the media outlet ActiveChuckss, where he's interviewed major LA players like Suge Knight, as well as our main men Robert Ross and Money Mark Stevens.
So Deuce Sims got an interview with Mark Stevens and with Robert Ross. All right, this is gonna be like a few. We gonna have to keep going and going and going with this. Ain't
what a rabbit hole. Stutterbox is the nexus to this whole investigation.
In late 2007, Ross formed a relationship with his neighbor Ray J and was able to bring him onto Shaq and Mark Stevens' label with the help of Death Row affiliate Cash Jones, aka
Cash McElroy Jones.
I can't wait to break down this paper tonight.
With the song, you can manage any kind of work.
Live.
Say your team.
Let's go.
Wack, what's going on?
WACK100. That'll be important later. During the initial negotiations, Robert Ross and Mark Stevens agreed that Ross would make a percentage of royalties based off of whatever music that Ray J and the label put out together. But when they met in New York a few weeks later to finalize the deal, Mark Stevens balked. He gave Ross a $20,000 finder's fee and refused to pay him any royalties.
Now, mind you, Robert Ross is a real fancy, flashy dude. He's driving around Los Angeles at this point in Rolls Royces and Phantoms. He's really heavily and wealthy man. I think he had did a fraud allegedly and acquired about $7-8 million in a fraud scam that he had going on. So he's a street millionaire.
So naturally, Stutterbox wasn't going for it. And neither was Ray J actually. He refused to sign the deal until Stutterbox got his pay, but
So Stutterbox had that bag, and Ray J went with him to New York to get this deal for Koch. But Ray J was going to sign the Koch, and Stutterbox was going to get a certain percentage of it, but they only gave him $20,000. He wasn't feeling that.
the facilitator in New York, Koch Records, were going to nix the deal if he didn't sign soon. So Stutterbox tells Ray J sign the deal, and
If I get my money out of these guys, how I get my money out of them.
the project ended up being a commercial success, topping the charts of Billboard Hip Hop and R&B. The main single was Sexy Can I, which actually had Shaq in the background of the music video.
Is it true that Shaq invested in your music career?
Yeah. He gave us, I think, $1.5 million for Sexy Can I.
Damn, man. It's crazy how all these people are intertwined in this story. Like, And a lot of this like got to do with like Wack and Ray J, Shaq, the main streets. We seen a picture of Suge Knight. This apparently there's some type of death row Pac investigation or Biggie investigation connection to this as well.
Wow. Money Mark, WACK100, we had another partner, and then Shaq. And we recouped the number back for Shaq in, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. And everything else has been profitable since.
All the while, Stutterbox was still trying to get his money back. After weeks of constantly requesting money from Mark and Shaq, there was no budging from either guy. So,
Robert Ross and Cash Jones come up with a conspiracy to blackmail and extort Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens for the money that Robert Ross felt he was owed for putting together the Ray J deal.
now hold on. I know that sounds crazy, but hear it out. So Shaq and Stutterbox are good friends at this point, right? Stutterbox even introduced him to other members of the Main Street Crips, including the leader Liddell Rawls, aka Dell Dog, remember that, and Kevin Haran, who went by the name of Lil Shaq. Sound familiar?
Dog and Box got my back, man. Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
So, not only does Shaq rep the Main Street set, but the other people that he mentioned are literally his family. Mark and Kenny
Cousin Kenny is my cat, man.
are his blood relatives, first cousins. And Corey Guns is his godson. But who gets the screen time? Not Kenny or Corey, but Stutterbox.
But him and Shaq was tight, and Shaquille O'Neal, prior to the deal, hung out with him, partied with him, even went to his house where Robert Ross leaves. Shaquille O'Neal had invited his female friend there, had sex with her there, and it was security cam footage when Robert Ross came home where he sees, oh man, he boom boom brought on my couch.
If we don't know one thing about the history of WACK100, there's always a videotape or a recording
De La Hoya,
the story. Regardless
Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Nipsey Hussle.
Footage or not, there's always a tape or recording or something. With the shit with Jay Prince and Larry Hoover.
The
shit with Kanye West. The shit with
Speak on it. This is his MO.
This right here, like it's always a Nipsey Hussle. It's always a videotape or something behind the scenes lurking. And in this particular situation, it looks like there's about to be some type of extortion going on.
You know what I'm saying? Shoved his hands all in her ass and all of this stuff.
So yeah, Stutterbox, Robert Ross, came home to a security cam footage and saw Shaq. Yeah. So anyway, that's leverage. This happened around July 2007, before Shaquille divorced his wife, Shawnee. That's infidelity from a global superstar in the 2000s. TMZ would literally be slobbering. TMZ was gonna slobber all over that. So through Cash Jones, WACK100, Ross claimed to have recorded and saved the footage, and insinuated that he could sell it to TMZ and make a lot of money. Additionally, get this.
Now, Robert Ross, another story plot twist, seeing that Shaquille O'Neal and Shawnee O'Neal were having a rocky relationship. As the story goes, he allegedly played into be a counselor, and it is rumored began to have sex with Shawnee O'Neal. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I said, Robert Ross lies about a lot, but it's been consistent. Even a lot of the police officers in their reports were citing that this allegation might have possibly been true. Shaquille O'Neal hired a private investigator to follow his ex-wife. She follows his ex-wife and brings back footage of Robert Ross and Shawnee O'Neal having brunch together out in, they met halfway and met in Texas or somewhere down south back east.
During this time, apparently Robert Ross told Shawnee O'Neal about the sex tape and even offered to sell it to her. She also said she didn't believe there was a sex tape because he was a liar and he never slept with her.
Home Depot hates when you do this, but they can't stop you. So you really want to just coat the whole thing.
So anyways, regardless of all of what happened previously, I think we can all agree here that Robert Ross is moving hella shiesty. I mean, he did say he's gonna get it back his way. I mean, he's a street millionaire. What do you expect? But here's where he messed up. He messed with Shaq Diesel. Hey, no glaze. One thing Shaq didn't play about back then was leaks. During Kobe Bryant's deposition in his 2004 Colorado case, he name-dropped Shaq to the people who were interviewing him, claiming that Shaq would not pay his woman to say anything, and that he's already paid up to $1 million for stuff like this. Now, listen, I'm not gonna choose a side for you guys, but the alleged victim, 3 days before she charged Kobe, bragged about being with him to 5 people. She'd apparently, at least from Kobe's point of view, to cover his tracks. Now here goes one of his business partners, who, by the way, had a track of criminal activity, and Shaq was claiming to want to reform him, but he'd also been dropping Shaq's name to police officers. So this is the guy who's trying to throw all of that now down the drain. Shaq wasn't going. Enter Dell Dog, the leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips, and one of the most famous men of South Central LA.
You had to hear about Dell Dog. He was like God.
Christened the Street Apostle, Dell Dog was the founder of 4 Life Records and the 4 Life Mafia car club, the latter of which became the predecessor for an entire car subculture in Japan. He was also tight with Steve Harvey and Ice Cube, both of whom starred in a documentary funded by Shaquille O'Neal. Seen as nearly a biblical figure in his hood, he organized toy and food drives every Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer, with Shaq even pulling up sometimes. Additionally, he was a devout follower of Christ in his later years, of which he did his best to spread the good word around his hood. Like one of his members said,
"We was crippin' for the street, now we crippin' for Christ."
But like every person in power, there are 2 sides to the coin.
He's like a legend in Los Angeles. Some people even call him the king of Los Angeles. If you listen to most people, he was like a ghetto Robin Hood, right? Necessary evils.
Necessary evils.
Lord, I cannot kill all these niggas hating on me, man. That's what I said to God. I said, I cannot kill all these niggas that's hating, man.
2 weeks later, Robert Ross, Stutterbox, was at the Pink Dot in West Hollywood when he encountered some of his old partners from the Main Street Crips. They blocked his car from leaving and told him that Dog wanted to see him. They forced him at gunpoint to drive his Rolls Royce back to South Central LA, where they dropped him off in front of a member's house, where Liddell Rawls, Dell Dog, was waiting. Per Ross's account, Dog and some other guys started jumping him, pistol whipping and all of this stuff for about an hour. They then took him to a studio in the back of the house, where they beat him some more, took his diamond necklace, his diamond earrings, Rolex watch, and $15,000 in cash. While saying, Mark and Shaq know who the real boss is now. Dell Dog then demanded the tape and $100,000, to which Stutterbox replied, his mom and sister needed to see him soon or else they would get suspicious. But he'd be able to get $60K and the tape in just a few hours. Dell Dog then handed him his keys for his house and his car, and let him out. Now, this is where our story gets even juicier. Robert Ross, up to this point, had been working with the police.
He was working with Detective Darren Dupree and Greg Kading, which was a joint task force. They were both LAPD officers, primarily focused on the Tupac and Biggie murder investigations.
This shit is like way crazy.
Whoa, hold on, huh? Wait, why? Why? Well,
Robert Ross Stutterbox was also a suspect in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., Christopher Wallace. Well, they had informants saying that the police did it and the hitman name was Amir Muhammad. Well, Stutterbox went by the alias. Robert Ross went by the alias.
And to top it all off,
the Main Street Crips are already under federal investigation. I'm talking about home invasions, drug dealings. The FBI, ATF, DEA already has federal wiretaps going on.
Which is why this crime was able to be so fleshed out in the first place. They'd already had wiretaps placed on the Main Street Crips. Man. Listen, we talking about Biggie and Tupac on an NBA.
I got the transcripts of some of the wiretaps.
BA channel. Bro, like and subscribe, man. Who's really doing this? Back to box.
He leaves, jumps in his Rolls Royce. He calls his handler, Darren Dupree, and Darren Dupree tells him to walk and report the kidnapping and robbery at the local police station, which he did.
Now, Robert Ross's informant situation and motives are still murky, but what is known is that instead of going home and receiving the tape and the $60,000, he went to the LAPD 77th Division Station.
Came through drippin'. Came through drippin'. On my wrist, they drippin'.
Yes. CS2 Back and Stutterbox, Stutter Rat. Nasty work, man. This is the game. Kids stay in school, man.
The history of California gang talk. The 77th Street Division.
beaten and bloodied, and told the officers about what had just happened, and implicated Ladell Rawls, Shaquille O'Neal, and Mark Stevens. Now, was there any evidence other than hearsay to prove that Shaq and Mark Stevens put a hit out on Robert Ross? No, not really. But remember the wiretaps. The LAPD found that around the time that Robert Ross was kidnapped, a flurry of calls was exchanged between Mark Stevens and Ladell Rawls. Now, I just finished up The Wire season 1, and bro, when I read that, I said, bro. Tony Mark called Dell Dog to handle Stutterbox, something Greg Kading, the officer that worked with Stutterbox and the handler of the Tupac and Biggie cases, also corroborated.
Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Dell Dog and says, man, you gotta swear your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Dell Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox.
But Ross didn't press charges right away. Sometime after the kidnapping, he was incarcerated again, which led to a delay for almost 3 years. Then, in the summer of 2011, he officially filed a civil complaint accusing Shaq, Mark Stevens, Dell Dog, and 7 other Main Street Crip members of kidnapping, assault and battery, and robbery. From there, the case was picked up from all the major news outlets, with bombastic headlines like Shaq Attack and the like. But then, after the preliminary hearing, the case was inexplicably dropped. Why? Well, apparently, Robert Ross perjured himself in court. He lied on the stand. WACK100, his former partner, and in on that first Ray J deal, claims to know why.
To help a certain individual out, I called my attorney, had the attorney put Greg Kading and Mark Stevens together. They put that together to ask Box on stand if you're gonna pull the paperwork. Have you ever been a confidential informant to work for the LAPD, FBI as a known snitch?
He put, hold on, I gotta back that up. Wack said he put his lawyer together with somebody to make them ask him the question, had he ever, hold on.
His former partner, and in on that first Ray J deal, claims to know that first Ray J deal, claims to know why.
To help a certain individual out, I called my attorney, had
to help a certain individual out. He ain't say no name, but he said to help a certain individual out, he called his attorney.
The attorney put Greg Kading and Mark Stevens together. They put that together to ask Box on stand if you're gonna pull the paperwork. Have you ever been a confidential informant to work for the LAPD, FBI as a known snitch? He lied on the oath and said no. Greg Kading takes a stance, provides a document that this dude is in fact one of our informants, this, that. At that point, the judge looks at it, he perjured himself. Therefore, any allegations or any claims he's bringing on anybody is non and void. They drop the charges on these 7 Crips and let them go. So in a sense, this power roof freed the Crips.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to understand what the hell just happened. So if Greg Kading was partners with the handler and they was investigating Stutterbox and the whole, I mean, he was working for them, giving them information, and I'm confused.
He's a double agent.
Now, time for another plot twist. WACK100 was also allegedly an FBI informant at the time, but this time for Death Row Records, in regarding the Biggie Smalls case. What's going on, bro? Lamonte, who's actually got beef right now with WACK100, broke it down for me. Buckle up. So, for context, after the death of Biggie Smalls, there were allegations that the LAPD was involved in the murder. And not only that, but they hid their involvement in the preceding trials. Biggie's family then filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the LAPD in the city of LA, demanding over $400 million.
Detective Greg Kading, he helped federalize that Main Street case, but that wasn't his case. He's running the Biggie murder investigation and the Tupac Death Row Suge stuff. So that's his priority. There's a $400 million lawsuit against the LAPD and the city of Los Angeles, which would have bankrupt Greg Kading and Darren Dupree. The task force was created to bring up a different theory that didn't implicate any police officers in participating or assisting in the unaliving of Biggie Smalls, the notorious Big. That's his only focus, to bring up a theory so that they could get off this $400 million lawsuit. If
Detective Coet would have spoke up on the stand, or Detective Fournier, they could have asked them about everybody who was on this investigation, including the informant. Informants being confidential source 2 Back.
Now, who is CS2 Back? Well, according to Lamonte's findings, that is WACK100 Cash Jones, who's listed in the investigations while Dell Dog was speaking with Mark Stevens. Through Mark Stevens, who is now Cash Jones's employer at Deja 34 Records thanks to the Ray J deal, he wanted to convey the information that Stutterbox had gone sour. Dell Dog declines. The police investigation referred to him as CS2, confidential source 2, and Mark Stevens confirmed his identity later on. The priority being the case of the notorious B.I.G. and Jones's ability to be able to point out the culprit as being Wardell Fowles, aka Poochie, as a plausible story. If the police officer
there is video. I want to say it was a Vlad TV interview where the first time I heard about Poochie allegedly being the person who took out Biggie, and I believe that there's a conversation as well where Wack is speaking about this too. I don't know if this dude got that particular information from Duse M. I could ask Duse M myself if he came up with it, or if he like put dude onto it. But this shit right here is deeper than I thought.
Officers working on the Stutterbox case were to testify, they were liable to exposing Cash Jones's relationship with the police due to him being involved tangentially, and thus rupturing the relationship needed to have a working theory to save the city of LA and the LAPD $400 million. So they left their lower ranking informant out to dry, and the case was dropped. But hey, that's just a theory.
Oh, so they're saying, listen, we gonna go ahead and expose Stutterbox, because really he's like lower level informant, so we can actually still conceal the identity of CS2, which they're saying is WACK100. We gonna go get what Mark Stevens said next and see what he said about these wiretaps and about the conversations that he had with Wack versus what was said in the transcripts that was sent over to me last night. Get in the comment section though. Let me know what y'all think about this so far, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. Ruler gang.
Salute to the ruler, man. We definitely appreciate that. I'm waiting on part 2. That it's gonna take him another day. But salute to him, man, and on being able to digest that. You know, a lot of these people can't even digest so much because there's so many different tangles and twists. But for sure, the ruler report, salute to him, man. We finna get up out of here just that quick. 3 hours, 11 minutes, man. Went by like nothing. Let's go.